Now, I quickly should point out too, I am in my Moxie shirt. I did go full Moxie for this.
Oh,
episode.
you've got Matt. I don't think we've ever gone full Moxie.
Yeah,
before.
I'm going full. Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be a banner episode for sure. Now
this is a double Moxie. Moxie on top and Moxie on the bottom.
Yeah.
That's basically the main version of the Canadian tuxedo is the Moxie cap and the Moxie t-shirt. Is that right, Matt?
Yeah, exactly.
Main
it's
formal
a full
wear.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's what Matt wears to weddings.
You have entered the PM Entertainment Podcast.
Hello, welcome, and a happy new year. It's an all-new episode of the PM Entertainment Podcast. The show that loves a good montage, also has difficulty eating spaghetti, often demands that their grandma just make up a card trick. They fancy any woman that teaches blind kids and have equal disdain for the commercialization, if it bleeds, it leads, cutthroat world of news video camera people. We're talking the seedy drama that pervades the wonderful early work of Mr. Rick Pepin and Joseph Merhi, the titans of low-budget madness, who were definitely hustling the streets of Reno with a beautiful broad on each arm while you were still kicking your mother's stomach. Each episode, we're celebrating the 1990s straight-to-video behemoth mini-major, PM Entertainment. I'm your host, John Cross, and don't forget, if you like the show, please remember to rate and review us on any of the podcasting platforms you use. Share our Facebook and Instagram posts, like, comment, and you can contact us via our email, pmentpod@gmail.com. That's pmentpod@gmail.com, or call us at 347-669-0053. And this week, it is a surprise because it happens to be another PM Christmas movie, which I wasn't even aware before we picked it out. It stars General Hospital and Dynasty's Kevin Bernhardt, who looks like a combination of Rob Lowe's Sentience and Elmo's Fire mullet and Craig Sheffer from Nightbreed. It's definitely worth watching, if nothing else, for his beautifully delivered bird soliloquy. As we only talk about PM Christmas movies with but two men, it is absolutely my undiluted pleasure to have returning again BulletproofAction.com's indispensable, knowledgeable, and what I imagine is a sort of gooey throbbing mass in a Brian Usner movie, The Brain, Chris Kavinsky. Hello, sir.
Oh, thank you so much. That is one of the greatest introductions in the history of introductions. And I really don't even feel I deserve it, but I appreciate it.
Well, you're very welcome. You do deserve it, and then some, sir. And the other is our most frequent collaborator, and a man who, no matter when or why, still seems to take my calls and agree to keep doing this, for which I couldn't be more grateful because I'm really not that popular. It's renowned author, cat fanatic, and a direct-to-video connoisseur, which I sort of imagine as a monocle-wearing, slightly sleazy gentleman in a silken paisley robe, smoking a very thin cigarette through an even longer and thinner cigarette holder, brandy in one hand, and a copy of Dolph Lundgren's Jill Rips in the other. Of course, it's Matt Pereira.
Yes, thank you. Another fantastic introduction. Yes, I've got my vibraphones in the background. I'm ready to bang out a tune here as we get going.
Interesting tidbit. Kevin Bernhardt wrote Jill Rips, by the way. So, yeah. So look at that. There I am doing a joke because not only do I know that Dolph Lundgren is the most reviewed person on the direct-to-video connoisseur blog, right? Am I correct in that?
Oh, yes. Yeah, he's over 70. He's the only person who has more reviews than his age, than his years on the planet.
Fantastic. Okay, so Dolph Lundgren is the most. So that ties that.
Oh, actually, maybe Art Camacho might have more. Okay. Yeah, depending on how old he is. But yeah, Dolph is really. Yeah, he's got over 70. In
terms of, and no disrespect to the wonderful and beautiful and amazing Art Camacho, but Dolph Lundgren is the sort of celebrity name of straight to video action movies.
Yes, yeah,
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
The true fans. The true appreciators know Art Camacho as every bit at the same level as Dolph Lundgren, but to the casual video store goer, Art Camacho is not as well known as Dolph Lundgren. That's all.
Yes.
But no, so Dolph Lundgren, right? Kevin Bernhardt, who is the star of tonight's movie, Midnight Warrior, wrote a Dolph Lundgren movie, and the title Jill Rips, just a funny title. So to me, I feel like that introduction contains what I would consider a perfect joke.
Yes, no, that is perfect. That is a bit. I mean, that Dolph's foray, if you call it that, into the erotic thriller.
Yeah,
it makes it all the sweeter knowing that it's Kevin Bernhardt who wrote. I don't know why I didn't look him up more. I think I just was like curious. I think the thing that threw me off is that his IMDb picture is much more. It's like very current. Yeah. So I was like, does he not have an IMDb? Like, did they not list him in here? And I was like,
yeah, he's gone all Silver Fox.
Yes,
he's gone all Salt and Pepper Lothario.
Right.
And Matt, before I find out from Chris what he's been doing over the vacation and what's going on bulletproofaction.com. Last thing was you have recently written and published a book. What is it, sir? Let the listening several know all about it.
Yes, it's called Mark in Sales. It is about a salesperson. His name's Mark, so obviously right for the name of the title. But
right off the bat, it does what it says on the cover.
Exactly.
When they say don't judge a book by a cover, you can most definitely judge Mark in Sales. Yes. By its cover. Sorry, Matt.
No, that's okay. But the deal is that Mark, for the past 10 years, he's been selling cut rate health insurance and making a ton of money while doing it. Now, he barely sees his family because he's just going from company to company selling this cut rate health insurance. And as he starts to discover that as both he's losing his relationship with his family, but also that the employees of these companies who are unfortunate enough to get this cut rate health insurance that he's such a great salesman and was able to get them to buy, he's finding that it's having issues for them too. People are losing providers, things aren't being covered. And as this is happening, he gets the promotion he's always wanted. So there's this dilemma of, do I take this promotion, keep working my way up the ladder, or do I just do something else entirely because this job is probably not the nicest job. So that's where you kind of follow him there. So it is, I guess, a little bit relevant, right? Because I think, health insurance
it's incredibly relevant because of the healthcare thing, but also, and I know you wrote it before this came out, so I'm not claiming anything at all, but also having just seen Marty Supreme, it's very Marty Supreme. In other words, he puts, the dilemma is is he going to put everything on the line for this ping pong tournament, or is he going to actually care about his family and friends, who, by the way, do nothing but help him, the selfish, stubborn prick that he is? However, you could see a world in which Shalamala Ding Dong plays Mark in Sales. Like, come here. You loved him in Marty Supreme. Now see him deal with the same work-life dilemma that's very relevant, very now. We're bringing it from the 1950s to 2026. Timothy Chalamet is Mark in Sales. Chris, wouldn't you be the first to buy a ticket?
That's right. I'd have the ticket. I would get the poster. I would hope there was I would hope I'd be invited on set, because I'm sure Matt would be there too.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
I kind of see that Mark is more of a John Hamm type.
Oh, okay.
Because he's like in his 40s. Yeah, he's in his 40s because he's got 2 kids that are in high school. So he's older.
Why don't we meet in the middle and go Adam Scott then? He's
Adam
between,
Scott.
if you want an actor who is between Chalamet and John Hamm in terms of looks and age, Adam Scott, boom, right in the middle.
Well, what I was going to say is, if the movie was just made, they could put whoever they want in it.
Right. And they would put Chalamet.
Yeah.
You should make Chris and I creative consultants, so that I can sit one side of the director and go, you should have got Chalamet. You should have got Chalamet. I should just say that to him the whole time.
Like I said, if it ever happened, I would just be so happy. Like the thing that would be hard for me is to not just be like, yes, and just
just give them everything. Right, and if you want, it takes place in this world with this book and there's characters, and then you could do the. Isn't there the lesbian couple who takes place in that world who you want to write a book spinoff?
So that's it's technically it's a different world where my other books, so Don's House in the Mountains, Holtman Arms, it's a sort of a different world. And
you don't want to cross-pollinate worlds.
Well, I actually know in the book, like talking about the author who she's kind of written her own Harry Potter essentially. Yes. She took Sonia Rostova from War and Peace, and she made a series of vampire lit books where she kind of goes on after War and Peace and is like a vampire hunter, and it becomes the biggest thing ever, right? So she's worth like $1 billion. And
that's like Twilight, right? Wasn't
exactly.
Twilight based on something else or something?
I think it was Harry Potter fanfic. Or no, it was I think it was 50 Shades of Grey was Twilight fanfic.
That's it. Right.
Yes.
Bingo. Yeah. So that's what you're going for. Got it.
Exactly.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And so at the end of that book that I've written, it's in, so for re-listening, it's in rough draft stage. But she meets this character named Noelle Devon that's in Holtman Arms and is also in Chad and Accounting. And she's kind of like the connector that connects the different universes.
She's the two universes.
Exactly.
The two Perea universes.
Exactly. Right.
Well, it's exciting stuff. Anyway, thanks ever so much, Matt. And everyone should go buy his book, Mark in Sales, coming soon as a movie with Timothée Chalamet. Chris,
yes,
tell
sir.
us, how was your vacation or your holiday period? And secondly, what's going on over at bulletproofaction.com? Prying ears want to know.
You know, over that long break, I hosted the first annual Golden Butthorn Awards.
Yes, excellent.
With the wonderful miscellaneous plumbing fixtures playing us out. Thank you so much for that. We had Chad Michael Collins as the announcer. This was a top tier production, folks. So if you missed out, check it out in the Bulletproof Podcast archives on our YouTube channel. And then we kicked off the year with a whole week devoted to the one and only Richard Norton, who had some PM entertainment.
Yes, he did. Yes, he's in Cyber Tracker.
And what was it? Direct Hit, I believe, is the other.
Yes, he's in Direct Hit as well. So yes, and I think he did stunts on a couple. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, would not surprise me. So yeah, we did that. So that's what's been going on so far in 2026 over on bulletproofaction.com.
Exciting stuff, Chris. Exciting stuff. I'm excited to see when Bulletproof Action also becomes a movie starring Timothée Chalamet, because I figure that just everything in the next 20 years will be a movie with Timothée Chalamet.
At some point, there's not going to be anything else for these big studios to buy. They're just going to have to buy anything.
Yeah. All right. So I believe last time when we talked Riot, which would have been the last episode before this one, back in 2025, a whole year ago, gents. You went first, Matt, with the plot, and Chris went second. So I'm proposing we flip that this time round, and Chris kicks us off, and Matt brings us home. Are we happy with that?
Yes. You know, I was kind of thinking you might do that, so I was really paying attention. I rewatched the whole thing earlier, but in parts. But I saw the first part. I'm like, okay, I really need to pay attention to this first part, because I bet John is going to put me on the hot seat.
I'm going to flip it. I'm going to flip you. I'm going to flip you for real. Can you hear me at the back? Any usual? So, all right. So quickly then, before Chris kicks us off with the plot of the film, we have a not particularly long set of bullet points, but a surprisingly explosive one.
It's the PM Entertainment Bullet Points.
So we have a fall from a high billboard down onto Hollywood Boulevard. A man shot through glass door of pizza parlor. A couple of punches and a scuffle in a diner. Burning car. We have our hero saving a woman from a burning car, running away from burning car as car explodes in slow motion. And then they hang around and the second car blows up. Fantastic. Several people shot and lots of gunfire from a helicopter. Helicopter is shot so many times that explodes. Brilliant. A brutal stabbing, and then, to end the movie, another exploding car. Gratuitous montage featuring theme song that mentions the title of the movie, gratuitous awkward meeting a woman for the first time featuring food shenanigans, and gratuitous rival news gangs years before Anchorman. All right, that's the bullet points. Chris, back to you, sir, with the first half of the plot of The Midnight Warrior.
Beautiful song. Absolutely beautiful song. So we get we get these camera guys. I guess they're called stringers. I believe they're called stringers. They're like freelance guys. I believe it was World's Wildest Police Videos that did a special segment on these gentlemen who get this footage because I would imagine many of them sold their footage to the World's Wildest Police Videos. But yeah, we've got Nick Branca, played by Kevin Bernhardt, who the trailer did in fact mention that he's a heartthrob from General Hospital and Dynasty, or Dynasty, as you said, John. But yeah, and
Either one is fine, sir.
he is paired up with Sam, and yeah, they're they go around, they're riding around L.A. listening to the police scanner. What can they get? There's a jumper. Oh, so they go. Sam he gets the tripod. He sets up. He's shooting up at the lady. She's on like a billboard sign up above a building, and then our man Nick goes upstairs, gets on the roof, gets his handheld. He's there, and this woman gives him a story, just awful.
Oh, a tragic story.
Awful.
And right off the bat, we've got a really nice, like over the credits, a really nice sequence where not only, and I wanted to ask you guys, I've noticed as I've watched more and more PM films, certainly in this early run, they changed the fonts and everything at the beginning to kind of match the vibe of the film. So we get this really beautiful sequence over the credits where they've decided, well, it's a newsroom antics kind of movie. Let's do the clickety-clack typewriter. So the fonts are all done with the clickety-clack typewriter, but to add an extra layer of wonderfulness. I mean, you've got John Gonzalez laying it down on the synth sax, very low and mellow behind the whole thing. But in between the two things, you have these like voiceovers of Sam and Branca in their car debating on whether to take the If It Bleeds, It Leads news stories that are coming over the police scanner. And it's just the whole thing. I just thought that's a really nice, we'll go back to the jumper, but like the credit sequence, I thought instantly was selling me on the movie. Gentlemen, your opinions.
Yeah, it definitely establishes the relationship between Nick and Sam and how Nick's brain works, really.
Right.
Because they're like, oh, who wants footage of of empty building? Nobody. We gotta wait. And then, oh, jumper, hell yeah, let's get to it.
Yeah, let's get to it. But no, her tale of woe, absolutely like unbelievably bleak and blunt.
And it also wasn't.
Sorry,
it keeps getting worse. Like she starts off, it's like, okay, that's horrible that they did. And then it's like she gets in detail. I'm like, oh, please, lady.
And the other
I'm laughing at your reaction, not what the woman's describing.
Well, the other thing too is that because of the way the light was on Bernhardt, he's got these shadows on his eye sockets and his mouth and everything that make him look more like a young slack-jawed Wings Hauser while he's reacting to her. And then you've got Bo Jackson.
Or someone in Juggalo makeup.
Juggalo, exactly, Juggalo, yes. And then there's this Bo Jackson, like large, billboard that's off in the corner. It's got him with the baseball bat and the football pads, with the bow nose kind of thing. So it's like you see Bo Jackson over his shoulder. He's there just like trying to as she's telling this horrible story about all the stuff that's happening to her because she thought she was going to make a movie. And it's such a, but it is the kind of thing where you're like, what is PM going to do with this? Like, where are they going to take this?
But also, like, the other way that Midnight Warrior establishes itself, I think, is in the script, because there are some lines even up front. Like, well, first of all, as you're panning the street towards the building before they go up to the jumper, you see a bystander, just like some slacker, just stood there looking up at the woman, and he just goes, "Go on, jump." Which is so wonderfully cynical and comedic. I love it.
That I would expect more from if this was taking place in New York. That seems like something a New Yorker would be screaming at it. Like, oh, just jump and
Maybe
get it
it's a
over
New
with.
Yorker who's visiting California.
Maybe he was at the East Side Delicatessen.
Yeah, he was at the famous East Side Delicatessen that's in Los Angeles by the subway stop. go back to the Riot episode to understand. If you're just jumping into the PM Entertainment podcast now, having not listened to the previous episodes, you are lost. You are adrift in a sea of confusion. You need to go back because systematically we're building on a layered plot of jokes and references.
Right, until this becomes a movie in and of itself, and then somebody has to cover that movie on their. It's like Inception.
Yes, and it's going to be the first movie where Timothée Chalamet plays three people.
I was going to say, I love the idea of him playing you, John, and like doing his best English accent. You know,
right?
Like,
Chalamet plays me with an English accent and like Gandalf's beard,
right.
And then
he just talks like Michael Caine the whole time, right?
Yeah.
It's just like that's his version of an English accent.
As Matt, he just wears all Moxie sponsors all the scenes with Matt. He's like, and the Moxie guys, they're going, I know he's got the cap and the shirt, but could he not be drinking a Moxie as well?
You can never have too much.
But yeah, so this podcast becoming a movie starring three Timothée Chalamets. But yeah, so the Go On Jump is great. But then she has great lines like, if you want to help me, come here and push me, which is it's such a brilliantly horrible line. I've never heard that in any other movie where like I've heard like people freaking out when they're going to jump in a movie or whatever. And they've got all these like, he didn't love me and blah, 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 blah. But I've never heard one of them like calmly just go, if you wanted to help me, you'd come and push me. And I just thought, what a phenomenal line. And of course, Midnight Warrior is written by Charles T. Kanganis, a legend behind so many of the early PM films, not least of which, obviously, his involvement with the John Chance trilogy and the movie Chance.
So yeah, Nick is up there on the roof. And at first, he's going to do his job. He's got the camera going and she's like, do you have that camera on? Oh, no. I see the red light. And he's like, okay, he puts it down. It's like Bo Jackson is like the angel on his shoulder. That's like, you cannot take advantage of this woman like this. She needs your help right now. So Bo is the angel on his shoulder. And so he listens to this woman and he probably regrets it because again, this story just gets worse and worse. She's like,
all right, I'm just inserting a little trigger warning here because the next segment, really just for a few seconds, does discuss sexual assault. So I'm just letting you know this is a trigger warning that what we talk about is something that the character in the film talks about, her sexual assault.
Just gets worse and worse. She's like, there's these men, they promised to put me on TV and they raped me for 7 hours. There was white men, black men, old men, young men, just everything. It was. And then after it was done, I was bleeding for the last 2 hours of it. I'm like, oh no, please stop.
Yeah, it was so horrible. It was so horrible.
And then when it was done, they put it on their big screen TV and we're like, look, we put you on TV just like we said.
Oh.
It seems so specific that you wonder if there was a story in LA of something else. Because that was the whole thing. I remember the what was it, the Poison song, Fallen Angel, that like the video is like this young woman going, running away from home and going to LA and just like finding this whole seedy world that's there.
I think it's not just a true story. I think it's like 1,001 true stories. Right. Not to be like sad and horrific, but I think it's absolutely the case.
Well, I mean, how many erotic thrillers were made based on the idea of like, snuff films being made or these kinds of,
8mm, a fantastic one if you haven't seen it, starring Joaquin Phoenix, who was very much that generation's Timothée Chalamet.
Yes. You know why I haven't seen 8mm? My aunt gave us a copy of it for Christmas, and my mom regifted it to my uncle.
Oh, no. What was weird though was his aunt gave him the copy of the actual 8mm film, not that appears in the movie 8mm.
Right. That's what she gave.
So she wasn't giving you a DVD of the Nick Cage, Joaquin Phoenix, the Timothée Chalamet of his generation's movie, he gave the 8mm they're trying to find, the snuff film. His aunt had a copy of it. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying his aunt gifted him snuff for Christmas.
She found it in the bargain bin. Well, no, she gave it to our family. So it was like a family thing. Right. It was like,
gather around, everyone.
Here, let's watch it. And my mom's like, "What is this movie?" And I was like, "It's a pretty rough one, Mom." She's like, "Okay, well, I'll give it to your uncle." So she gave it to her. So it's like my mom's older sister gave us 8mm. My mom then regifted it to her younger brother.
Okay.
He came over for Christmas later. It was like, okay,
And that's what it's like growing up in Maine. All right. So Chris,
I want to interject that my favorite movie with a snuff film theme is The King of the Kickboxers.
Okay.
Yes.
Lauren Avedon, who was not his generation's Timothy Chalamet. But he could emote like nobody's business, I'll tell you that. Avedon, you could emote better than any human being on this planet.
When he's pretending that he doesn't know he's in a snuff film at the end, he's like, "Can we do it again? I didn't mean to hit them." It's like, yeah, he sells it.
Brilliant. But yeah, here's the whole story, and unfortunately, we do not get a happy ending. The woman does take the plunge, and when he gets down to the ground, there's Sam like, "Oh, what did you get? We could splice this together. I got some great stuff of her coming down."
Yeah, great stuff of her hitting the pavement.
Right.
Which she does on Rudolph Valentino's Star on Hollywood Boulevard. Rudolph Valentino's Star. And what's funny is when I first went to Los Angeles, which was, I think, back in 2006, when I first went to Los Angeles, I remember distinctly, you go along taking pictures of the stars on the sidewalk, which you're never going to, what are you going to do with that? Like, what you should just do is go, "I'm on Hollywood Boulevard, one picture, done." But what you do, and everyone does it, everyone on Hollywood Boulevard, "Oh, look, John Carpenter's star. Oh, look, Kurt Russell's star. Oh, look, Rudolph Valentino. Jim Henson's star, whatever it is." You go along looking at, and you just take pictures of them. What are you ever going to do with those pictures? You're never going to be giving a lecture on pictures and going in, and here's Rudolph Valentino's star. Here's Bob Hope's star. Here's Peter Sellers' star.
I wonder if people did do so. Like when my buddy and I went, it was in 2001. So it was before any of that stuff. So we had the disposable cameras that we were taking the pictures with. So it was like all on film and stuff. But I wonder, because I remember.
So you didn't want to waste those 32 taking pictures? No. Or did you just have one roll of film that was just pictures of the stuff?
It was like I remember like one of them was my buddy wanted to get a picture of us in front of some statue. And I just happened to be wearing a Michael Owen England like shirt that was like styled like the jersey, and this English guy came by. It's like, "Oh, this is great! You got the Michael Owen jersey. Yeah, sure, I'll take a picture." And he's like, "Take our picture," everything. But
ladies and gentlemen, that was Matt's English accent.
Yeah, that was a quick one. Yeah, I just I can't do the Michael Caine. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
but yeah, I think we were trying to. Yeah, we had to like. You had to know who you wanted to get pictures of, right? Because you couldn't just go with your phone and just be like, boom, boom.
But now you got the phone, you're loading it up with pictures of Hollywood stars you'll never look at again. Chris, I'm so sorry for keep diverting the action.
It's quite all right. That's what this show is. That's what I think all of our shows are about. It just, what tangent are we going to go and how long is it going to last before we get back around, or will we remember to get back around?
No, I'm roping us back in. I'll be the tangent master.
You've got the outline. So yeah, he gets down there, and then this guy comes up. He's like, "Oh, I heard you guys talking. That was my wife. I don't want my kids seeing any of this footage." And the heartstrings have been pulled on Nick, and he's like, he's handing over all the footage, and you're like, "Oh, that Nick, good for Bo Jackson. Really put him on the right path."
Yeah.
But then they go to the diner that their boss works out of.
Well, no, next they then go to the Sharpshooter.
Oh, they go right to
the hostage scene. The hostage scene.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
The hostage scene was
Randall plays the Sharpshooter.
Oh, really? Was that soon? Because I thought they went back empty-handed.
No, she lands on and because they don't film the.
So they got to get something. So that
they don't. Yeah, no, but they don't film the hostage scene either. he just makes Sam goes over and just cracks wise with the cop.
About the Godfather.
This guy's
what the
got
hell was that? Yeah,
this
Hyman
guy-
Roth didn't like when Michael messed with Mo Green. I'm like, what the hell is? There's a situation. This woman's being held at gunpoint,
Yes.
and Sam is talking about the Godfather and Godfather Part 2.
Yeah, they see, because this is where the movie introduces the all important Italian theme. This movie is PM Entertainment does Scorsese, does Nightcrawler 30 years before, or whatever, or 20 years before. That's
So
what
yeah,
this movie is.
we've got the Pizza Man, and he's apparently been having relations with. I guess she was like the waitress at the pizza shop, because they were spending. You spend all this time together with this person of the opposite sex in the with the steam of the pizza oven.
Yeah, the waft of mozzarella and oregano hitting you.
She just can't get enough pepperoni, so she turns to the Pizza Man for some more. And he gladly delivers, because his wife is just every time she's just spending money like it's
Like an American, he says.
like an American.
You're just spending money like an American.
And so she comes to the scene to try to calm him down. And
Which guy holds his mistress hostage and then goes, the person I want to talk to in this fraught situation? My wife. I mean, are they insane?
And I especially like the detective or the cop who's like tells the wife, don't get him upset. I don't want anybody hurt. And then 1.1 second later turns to the sharpshooter and says, you get a shot, kill the guy. You just said you didn't want anybody hurt, but you then order this man's death.
Addison Randall plays the sharpshooter, and even if I get a soupçon of Randall like I do in this, or if I get full blown Randall like in Hollowgate, I am I am a Addison Randall stan, I believe the kids say. Even in this small scene where he has a small part, just chef's kiss. He's got the deadpan delivery. He's got that, weird charisma.
Just a little to the left. Just a little more to the left. You're Addison Standel is who you are, John.
I am Addison Standel all over the shop. But no, I strongly recommend people go back and watch him in Hollowgate. His performance in Hollowgate is up there, I believe, with the great performances of psycho characters from the past, whether that's the guy who plays Bruno in Strangers on a Train, whose name escapes me at the moment, and Anthony Perkins in Psycho. Addison Randall in Hollowgate, it's the next one. I'm telling you, it's phenomenal. It's fantastic. Timothy Chalamet should take notes for the inevitable remake of Hollowgate starring Timothy Chalamet.
You know who should have taken notes from Timothy Chalamet is Michelle Smith, who played the girlfriend, because her real name is Michelle Mania. Why the hell would you change your name? Like Timothy Chalamet, that's a name that you're not going to forget.
Right.
Especially if you've listened to this podcast so far. You're going to know the name Timothy Chalamet. We've said it 19 times already.
And I will say it 19 more times.
Right. At least. Michelle Mania? Come on.
Come on. Now, if she blew up, like if she became... And I don't mean in the PM way, like it actually explodes.
Another lady almost blows up in a little bit, but we'll get to her.
Right. But if she blows up like as a celebrity, she does Midnight Warrior, and suddenly she is a huge celebrity. What is Mania called? What do you call Mania?
Hysteria, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm saying, right?
Right.
If her name is Mania. What is the mania of like it can't be Beatlemania, you know what I mean? It's got to be like Mania.
Or Michelle Mania, I mean, that could become an event in and of itself.
Yeah, right.
On par with the Super Bowl.
Michelle Mania. I mean, it's not unlike the popularity of, say, young Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet, who's a big wrestling fan, by the way, who probably has been to a WrestleMania in his time. I don't know.
Now, wait a minute. Is WrestleMania her father?
WrestleMania and Beatlemania made Michelle Mania.
I'd believe it. In this world,
anything's possible. So yeah, Addison, he shoots the pizza man who goes through the window. Nice glass breaking. Not to the level of rage glass breaking, but these are the baby steps of PM entertainment. And they do get the man through the glass. And now they have to go
and
back.
I happen to know whose pizza parlor that is.
Oh.
So first of all, it's the same pizza parlor that appears in Repo Jake.
Just gonna say.
Oh boy.
So it is the Repo Jake pizza parlor, which means it's probably the pizza parlor in Los Angeles who's had its windows broken more times than anything. Because in Repo Jake, they throw a man through the only 2 windows at the front of the store and then pick him up outside the store and throw him through a 3rd window that definitely did not exist when you first saw it. So that pizza parlor regrows windows, allowing people to be thrown through more of them. So, and apparently he gets a caterer credit in this movie. So yes, it is Eli Miller, who is a friend, someone who follows us on social, and I've been talking to now for ages. And his family worked for PM, and he has a lot of PM inside knowledge, and he's a good guy. And his father, Mr. Miller Sr., owned that pizza parlor.
I wonder if his father scanned a QR code to get those windows replaced.
See, no one's gonna get that reference because I probably
it was before we went on the air, folks. We had a fascinating conversation about streaming commercials on the ad-supported streamers. And if you scan the QR code, you too could get free windows in your house.
Yes. Indeed.
Or pizza parlor. I mean, they're not going to discriminate. Glass is glass, folks. But anyway, now we go back to the diner.
Safe flight repairs.
Now we go back to the diner where their boss, Buddy Arnstein, works. And listen, he's got TVs and he's got scanners as well. And he's like,
the idea that these like rival news gangs are all taking over booths of diners, like out of Taxi Driver. Like it's like the Taxi Driver scene when it's like panning slowly through the diner and all the New York taxi drivers are all sat at different tables. It's the PM version of that. They're like, well, we're in LA, it's going to be a big diner, and then we're going to have this like overhead shot. Like, it's beautiful work by Richard Pepin, who was a DP on this film.
So yeah, they get to Buddy, and Nick orders a couple hard-boiled eggs, and Sam, he wants the blue plate special, and then Bernie or Buddy starts, why don't you get yourself a T-bone steak? You're just throwing money away. You're just the guy over there. I've been hearing talk about some idiots who gave him a tape, and I'm like, I'm hoping it's not my 2 best guys. And then that's the guy who said he was the husband is really this bastard named Eddie Colfax. He's a stringer. He's a stringer on a come up, and he's looking to take down the kings that are on the top of the totem pole right now.
Right.
Sam and Nick.
He looked like a poor man's Julian Sands. And I feel like the moment you realize you've got a poor man's Julian Sands in your midst, it's almost as bad as a Billy Drago. Like, you just don't trust.
I was going to say, he kind of like his picture on IMDb now. Yes. He looks like Billy Drago.
He's more Drago-ish.
Drago
He was. I guess over the past 30 years, he was starting.
He's the Timu. He's the Timu version.
He was starting the process of going from Julian Sands to Billy Drago in 1989. In the past Drago 35 years, he's become more Drago than Sands. Like the metamorphosis is more complete.
I was going to say something, but it's probably not very good. So I'll move on.
That's like going back to the Brian Usner movie if he's having a metamorphosis where he's becoming like, anyway.
So yeah, old Buddy's not happy, but now Nick's like, what? That guy. So he goes over there, and Nick's wearing like that long leather duster, is he not? He's wearing that duster right now.
He is. He's wearing. And I don't mean to besmirch his character, but I'm going out on a limb and saying that's not real leather.
Well, and I also don't believe he got it in the men's section. That's just my hunch. I feel
double whammy.
I think he borrowed it from his mother, with whom he seems unusually close.
Yes.
Which, we'll get to that too. So he goes and he punches it, and they're getting a little dust up. But then, of course, when you're frickin' Nick Branca,
Yeah.
fall ass backwards into some lady love because then the waitress comes over with a band-aid and it's like, oh no, I just want to bleed here on your table. No, let me put the band-aid on you. And then next thing you know, they're back at Nick's place and
Yeah. And he's unpleasantly rubbing her G-string back and forth across her buttocks.
like wondrous, like Emmanuel 1970s, like making love in a meadow music, I think was playing, right? Am I right?
Gonzalez is bringing the late 70s softcore hijinks in his music, most definitely.
so yeah, now we see, and then I think the next day he goes to see his mother. And this is where his mother.
Although I know I have to say the bit at the very beginning, because it jump cuts quite fancifully, quite Kubrick-esque, from her putting a band-aid on his forehead in the diner to her then in one of their abodes. We don't know where, but it's a Dario Argento giallo lit boudoir of the highest order. There are pinks and blues everywhere. And she is mopping his forehead with something.
And yeah, does it feel better?
Does it feel better? And she goes, let me kiss it. And somehow, considering how attractive she was, for an attractive woman, she made the phrase, let me kiss it, make me go, no, oh, please. Like, I don't know why. There was something in the delivery that I was like, I don't want her saying the words kiss it ever again.
Well, the next day, Nick goes to visit his mother, Rose, who, of course, is like, well, you need to stop with these models and these actresses. And, oh, I was just with a girl, regular girl. Oh, she's a waitress. Oh, I used to be a waitress. And then she's really putting over this Angelina chick.
Yeah.
His mom is just all like, and you should find yourself a nice girl, like whoever's niece or I don't know. Angelina, you need Angelina.
Oh no, she's become like a daughter to her ever since he left home. He's an adult, and she's like, ever since you left me all alone, this random ass neighborhood chick has become like a daughter to me. So I want to foist her on my son, who can't stop coming around and bothering me all the time.
And you want to stay for some spaghetti? I know you love it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not able to eat it, but
no, I don't want to do it. But okay, you've convinced me. So he's starting to shovel the spaghetti in his face. And who comes by with some stuffed eggplant? You guessed it, folks. If you were out there listening, said Angelina Montucci, yes, exactly who it was. And she comes in and she sees old Nick just having some trouble with his pescetti, and
he throws it down the front of his sweater.
And she
because she walks in and he is so. This is a guy who beds exclusively like model attractive women. Right. And not to say anything wrong with this one, but like for him to be so gobsmacked when she walks in is just, and I understand what they're trying to put across. What they're trying to put across is, oh my God,
this is the true love. All these other women are just floozies. This is your true love. And she has just walked in the freaking room, the thunderbolt, to quote the Godfather. He got hit with the thunderbolt.
Yeah.
That's right, Sam. You're not the only bastard who can quote the Godfather, but listen now. So yeah.
Yes. But also, this is how many scenes of food-based shenanigans are going to be in PM films. Well, obviously we've got the famous pizza in a box in an oven scene from Riot that we talked about last time, but also the mushrooms in the cereal in Last Man Standing.
Last Man Standing, yeah.
The love
probably
scene,
some other ones, but I can't.
Wingshauser love scene with Kathleen.
Oh, the Wingshauser love scene, right? Yeah. Thank you. Yes, the art of dying. Absolutely disgusting milk and jam sequence.
I've got what we're just setting up here is we could eventually have the PM Entertainment Diner combining your two podcasts together. The PM Entertainment Diner, where you can get cereal with mushrooms, you can cook your pizza right in the box, where you can have spaghetti that with like a trick fork or something that is it's going to get on you no matter what you do.
Yes, as you pick it up, there's a little button or sensor in the fork that makes the middle prong of the fork bend down like that, and then the spaghetti like every time you bring it to your mouth, no matter what, the spaghetti ends up on your sweater.
And here's the thing. Here's the money making in here. You say spaghetti, all you can eat spaghetti, $2. The bib, $52.
$52.
And you
But
need
then
it.
you start getting people like the aristocracy coming in like mink and stuff to specifically get the spaghetti on their clothes because it becomes like a badge of honor. It becomes like super popular.
Well, that's fine
like,
too. If you're getting that kind of clientele, then you become the hip place, and then you can charge what you want for yourself.
like the splatter zone at a guar concert.
So Angelina's like, oh, I'll get that for you. So she's cleaning his shirt. We find out that she teaches blind kids.
Which he'd already said earlier in the kitchen to his mother.
Right.
He goes, you're making it seem like she teaches blind kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Because I just watched recently an episode of Pack Blue where young Russ Granger is having like webcam chats with a mysterious woman who says she teaches blind kids, and that's like getting them like, ooh, she's a teacher, and she's being all naughty and showing me her bra on the 1990s webcam.
What? Wait, what show is this?
Pack Blue, season 5, episode. Okay. I don't remember which but early on.
Episode bra.
And
episode 28, bra.
So yeah, I'm like, is this why am I keep hearing about these women who teach? I mean, are they like the most?
Well, also one would imagine I'm an educator of the visually impaired rather than I teach blind kids.
Back in 1989, she just taught blind kids.
She just taught blind kids, but it becomes a running joke. It's one of the few like running jokes throughout the whole movie. If I told you she teaches blind kids only 20 times or whatever, Nick and Sam, because Nick and Sam become fast friends once Sam sees there's a bit of money in it. You know what I mean?
Is there anything about her? Like, and granted, we don't get a lot of her personality. We don't learn a lot about her, but there doesn't appear to be anything about her that says, I teach blind kids. You know what I mean? Like
what? Angelina Mantucci?
Angelina Mantucci, right? Like, you know, does she seem like more thoughtful at all, or does she seem right? Like, I don't know. I mean, she looks great in a leather skirt when you know she's in the leather skirt. Other times she's in a suede skirt, depending on how their first date is edited, and sometimes it gets. But I just it was like they made her this character, but she wasn't this character. It was this weird thing, this weird mix of like, it made no sense.
Assayed by the wonderful actress Lily Melgar.
Right, who apparently has won Emmys or been nominated for Emmys.
Well, on her IMDb, there is a picture of her making out with an Emmy.
With an Emmy, right.
But I don't know whether she won it or whether she was just doing a modeling thing where it was like, I'm kissing an Emmy or something. Oh, no, maybe she was doing stock photos in case some rando is going on to like Adobe Images or something and being like, I need a picture of a sexy bird making out with an Emmy statue. They're like, Jeff, why would you need that? I really need it for this article I've written all about the sexual proclivities of people with awards. And if you've gone the full EGOT, if you know what I mean, and I think you do, then, you know, that's the big prize within the fetish world of people who like to make it with celebrity awards. Anyway, I mean, obviously the Oscar is the easiest award to do anything with.
She is a multi-Emmy winning producer.
Oh, she is? Okay, good.
She was a VJ for Univision's Tu Musica.
Okay. Well, good on you, Lily Melgar. I was.
So it's a daytime Emmy. Is basically what we're saying.
Oh well, then we can go back to taking the piss. Then
there's Lucci. Yeah.
Well, you know, there were those people. This is what I love. The people who are like, because the people say, "Oh, Whoopi Goldberg's an EGOT, right?" And everyone always goes, "Yes, but it's a daytime Emmy," and you just always want to go like, it's a made up award, and EGOT is a made up thing. And if someone wants to say they're an EGOT, let them say it. You getting upset that it's a daytime Emmy versus a main Emmy or whatever, however that is That is so staggeringly a nonsensical thing to be upset about. I don't even know to begin. She's an EGOT because you know what? It's all made up. I'm an EGOT. You're an EGOT. Everyone's an EGOT. Next.
The daytime Emmys are like the Connecticut of New England.
Except, we make these jokes, but Susan Lucci went decades without getting it until she finally got one. So, for her, it's a big deal. We're getting that daytime Emmy.
Yeah, listen, Melgar, you are honored here on the PM Entertainment Podcast. You want to come on and talk about being Mantucci? I want to hear about it. Come on to the show, Lily Melgar, and all our comments about Emmys, won or otherwise, daily or otherwise, please take with a very small pinch of salt. All right, back to the plot of Midnight Warrior.
Midnight Warrior. Yeah. Wonderful song. So I think at this point now, if I haven't lost my bearings, now they find out that they're what were they like?
They were given a smaller sector.
Sector. That's what I'm looking for. Sector.
Yes.
Their sector has been cut in half because the buddies decided, there's Eddie Colfax, making waves, and I'm going to give him half of their sector. So then Nick's like, well, you know what? Let's just cross sectors. What? You can't cross sectors. It was a very Ghostbusters moment about crossing sectors. What would happen if we cross it? Well, we're not going to be the only ones crossing sectors. All right. So they go.
Sam's like, this kid's got something. And that's why, because Sam is just like, no, let's just stay in our sector. I don't want to make any waves. Stop trying to make waves. And Nick is all like, we're going to make waves, baby. And not only that, we're not the only people making waves. And Sam goes, oh, he's right. This is all made up. Sectors is bullshit. Also, why would news teams have sectors if they're just listening to the police scanner and go where the action is? It would only matter if there was so much stuff going on that you needed people in two different places. But there isn't even enough going on for them to find 2 or 3 good usable bits of footage in the first half of the movie.
So they go, and I think this is where they're like, follow that cop car because nothing's coming on the scanner.
It's the second montage of Los Angeles at night.
Oh, yes.
While John Gonzalez gives us his. Well, it's not. I mean, John Gonzalez, I probably recorded it, but it's not, is it? It is the theme song, Midnight Warrior, was written by Jastario Coviare. Jastario, I think I'm saying that right, Covare, I don't know, who wrote the excellent Shotgun theme song and also who plays the character Bear in the LA Heat John Chance trilogy. And the song is performed by Azeli El Corliss.
Yeah, beautiful vibraphone. I think
beautiful.
When it's starting to go through the tunnel, and you see the ding 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 ding. It's just
yeah. I'm feeling it right now, and it's definitely got those. What they've gone is they've gone, well, look, in New York, Scorsese has like this doom-laden, growly brass music and the atmospheric taxi coming through the smoke, and you've got saxophones and brass and whatever. What's the LA equivalent of that? Synth vibraphone played by a tone-deaf 8-year-old. Congratulations. That is the sound of Los Angeles at night, people.
So they see this cop car, but follow that cop car. What am I going to do? See him give a guy a ticket? Just follow. I got a feeling. If you got a feeling, I got a feeling. All right. So they follow the cop car, and
Sam and Nick, the TV show, I would watch every week.
The greatest sitcom in PM entertainment history.
Yes.
So, and if YouTube is to be believed, and you, John, you can correct me here, because you're the expert here.
Oh, okay.
They said this is the first PM entertainment car chase.
In Midnight Warrior?
Or just all together? Was this the first movie with a car chase?
Does LA Heat? No, LA Heat does not have a car chase. LA Heat has like a foot chase, but it doesn't have a car chase. This, because this is the second one after LA Heat is the first one, and Midnight Warrior is the second one that comes out anyway. I don't know if they were shot in that order, but it comes out. Yes, I would call this the first PM car chase.
So we have got this is history. And you watch this, folks. You're watching history. This is
but it's not the first Joseph and Rick car chase because that happens in City Lights.
City Lights, okay.
But it's the first PM Entertainment car chase.
So there's an asterisk there, folks.
Yeah.
You'll have to, John, when he writes his book, there'll be or no, you're not writing the book.
Corey Danner's right.
Corey's doing it, yeah.
But I'm happy in my forward to Corey Danner's book, which I hope he asked me to write.
Right.
I will put this anecdote. Yes.
But you know what? I heard he's actually going to ask Timothy Chalamet, so you're shit out of luck.
Fuck Chalamet! Curses!
No, you're a Timothy shit out of luck, mate. So yes. So
Chalamania.
We find, we've got that here. They're chasing a drunk driver, and he's a very blatantly drunk driver because we get shots of him just with the bottle in hand. It's not just like he might be impaired. I don't know. No, he's definitely impaired. He's got the
also
bottle.
He's loving that he's part of a chase.
Right.
He's whooping it up, laughing, swinging it.
If he could, he would put on some like Southern chase music, but they probably didn't have the rights to that, or Gonzalez didn't know how to produce that. I don't know, but anyway.
He would have gone synth with it. Gonzalez definitely would have gone synth banjo.
No band. Yeah, but we need some banjos.
Synth, it would have been like a Glenn Campbell song or something like that.
They were using synth bass, I think, for the chase, weren't they?
Yes, I presume that they're always using synth bass. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when after the guy gets shot through the window and they like leave, they do the synth bass. It's like bum, 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 bum. And it was almost like a sitcom. It was like a episode of like Sanford and Son or something, where it's like something like, oh, let's go to the next scene, you know.
It's Nick and Sam. They were secretly, it was a backdoor pilot for a sitcom for them.
I would have watched every episode. It would have been up there with According to Jim.
So we get the how does a chase end? You got to crash some cars. So we crashed it. Then there's this. So now the cars are on fire, and of course our cameraman let's get the car on fire, chase it, big fiery end. And Nick's like, wait a minute, there's a woman in there, and the cop's like, oh, it's too late. You can't do anything about it.
Cops are bloody useless, I tell you.
Nick's like, the hell with that, and he races over there. Give me your hand, and he gets her out just in time. We get a car explode, and then they just stay there so they could see the other car explode, as you pointed out.
Yes.
And we get the double explosion, and we now have...
Which, by the way, is like the ultimate PM orgasm. If you have a double explosion,
right?
It's almost like the double helicopter explosion in Executive Target.
Yeah, double explosion is like the man and woman both did what they were supposed to do. Because you get one explosion easy anytime.
Yeah.
It's that second one.
You can spit and hit a first explosion in the PM film.
It's that second one. That's
the sweet
you gotta that's the sweet spot, all right. Okay, now
you gotta work for it.
Right. So now it's everything's about to change because Nick, I think they go back to the diner and there's all this commotion out, like what the hell's going on? And it's the news, the network news.
The sexy lady news.
Liz Brown herself. Miss Brown, if you're nasty. But she's there and she's interviewing Buddy, who's like, oh, I knew that Nick was something special all along. And then, oh, here he is, Nick, my boy. Come say hello to the pretty lady or something. I'm like, what the? So he gets interviewed. What are you going to do now? He hits the I'm going to Disneyland line. And everybody in the theater, or this wasn't in the theater, but if it was, the entire theater in unison would have laughed, and
all groaned,
or either one. It would have gotten a reaction for sure.
Yes.
And then he's like, "Oh, hey, when can I see you again?" And she just kind of like, just kind of blows him off, and you don't think anything of it until he goes home.
Well, he gets pulled away by
right.
Bernie. So this is another thing we were saying about Michelle Mania, right?
Right.
The guy who plays Buddy Arnstein is called Bernie Angel.
Right.
Now, I'd much prefer Bernie Angel be my manager than Buddy Arnstein. I mean, they're both good names, but Bernie Angel is just absolutely fantastic.
Wasn't that a Shelley Fabre song in the 60s?
No, that's Johnny Angel.
Johnny Angel.
Oh, Johnny Angel. But yeah, so Bernie Angel, absolutely fantastic in every scene that he's in this movie.
Bernie
he
Angel.
is chewing the scenery like there's no tomorrow.
And he's often lit in that blue light. Like he's like It's just he's in the shadows, but a little bit of blue light.
He's in the shadows. I'm just giving John Gonzalez ideas for his next opus. I love Gonzalez. Gonzalez is one of my favorites. Him and Halfpenny kicking it.
Oh, I was waiting for it.
Yeah,
I was waiting.
and of course,
what's
not
the
to leave-
timestamp? I was wondering how long was it going to be till we heard Halfpenny in this
It's about
episode?
an hour in. We're about an hour in.
Mr. Halfpenny.
But Mr. Halfpenny, and not, of course, giving any shade to the wonderful Louis Fabre as well.
Right.
All three of them giants in their own way, although strangely all very small men. No, I don't know that to be a fact. I made that up.
I think the only small man in PM Entertainment history was Richard Munchkin. But
Yes. Knocks it out of the park with Kavinsky deadpan genius. All right, yeah, so he's very angry. He doesn't want him doing anything with women whatsoever.
right.
He says one of the worst lines I
here
could
it
possibly imagine. Who wants to say it? I don't want to say it.
Matt does.
Oh, you gotta get your head out of the pussy. And where was that?
So he says, keep your head on your shoulders and out of women's pussy.
out of women's pussy. That's right.
Oh, glad he
Which is just
specified.
the worst way to say that. Like the way
Right.
you were going to say it, Matt, which was like keep your head out of the pussy and
Right.
focus on the shoulders or whatever, however that would be. I don't know. That would be a much better way to say it than the way he says it, where he just nails that last word, and you're just like, I don't need to hear Bernie Angel. Bernie, he ain't no angel, is what it is.
It's like we don't know how far we're gonna go with Burning Angel here, but we're seeing him here, and it's not. It's like Bernhardt's giving him a hard time. Like he's like Bernhardt's flirting with the reporter, and Bernie's like, "Come on, we gotta go," and he's like, "Shut up, just give me a second here, 'cause I'm trying to hit on this woman." And so like he's giving him a hard time and everything, and you get the sense that like Bernie's just kind of like some like pissant little like agent kind of guy who's just kind of there, and that like once Kevin Bernhardt becomes big, he'll get rid of that guy, and that'll be it for him.
But no, the other thing happens.
Right. The other thing that happens when we get there, I mean,
It's unbelievable.
yes.
But before we get there, I believe we've got to get to the shower.
Right. So after that day, I mean, he's probably a little smoky because he was near that car explosion.
Right.
He had a long day walking around in his pleather duster, and he gets in and he's like, the music's on at his house.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? And then he hears the shower, and then here comes a perhaps even more disturbing line. Mom, is that you?
So, yes, but to really sell this, no lights are on in his house. The shower's going on under candlelight. On the floor, like leading up to the showers, is an abnormal amount of clothing. There seems to be full outfits every few feet. I mean, it just, I have this written down. This is what I wrote down. The scene where the woman is in the shower. Is she in the shower at his mum's place? Does he live with his mum? Why does he think his mum would leave clothes all over the floor? And how many items of clothing was she even wearing? But then in the next scene where he brings his mum a Christmas tree, his mum says, "Since you moved away." So wait a minute. He thought that his mum had broken into his house, stripped off in the dark, and that she was wearing several items of clothing, several outfits, full outfits, really, right? Walked up to his bathroom and was just taking a shower. He thought that's what his mum would do. And I'm confused by the scene, Chris. Make it make sense.
I can't. I'm like, why would you think like, you know? And
Do you think that was a Bernhardt ad lib? Do you think Bernhardt was trying his?
He's very good. Yeah.
his
they
ad-
say that
That-
Italian
that-
mothers and their oldest son have like a bond, and it can be a little bit, you know, I've never heard of it going to this point, right? Like a lot of times it's like they say, like, especially when the oldest son, when he marries, like that the Italian, she's never good enough for the Italian mom, you know, that's
right.
that kind of thing.
But we know that's not the case here because she is really pushing
Right.
Angelina Montucci on this, her son.
Right.
But she's actually like, you better be good enough for her because I know you. This girl is like a daughter to me. So
And who wouldn't know Italian mothers? Joseph Merhi, Charles T. Kanganis, and Kevin Bernhardt. All of them as Italian as the day is long.
Yeah, they should have asked Lou Volpe, the pizza man, about how this all works. But yeah, so he's like, "Mom, is that you?" Which is just disturbing. Was that to erase the line we just heard? I don't know. But yeah, he goes and he's realized, no, that's not my mom in that shower. No, it's Liz Brown herself. And welcome to network TV.
But he wouldn't know that till he walked all the way around the door and opened the door.
Opens the door.
It could still have been his mom.
Right. Or just some random stranger, like
just using his shower.
Yeah, some kind of mental patient.
Some hobo
who could have killed him. But yeah, so he sees it, he opens the door, it's Liz Brown, and she like, welcome to network TV.
It's Liz Brown in the pink.
Ooh. And he just walks in, unlike her, doesn't remove any clothing, just walks right in. I guess eliminates laundry day. He just could take care of everything at once.
Yeah. Well, it was his homage to in St. Elmo's Fire, Rob Lowe's mullet is greasy. And he's shaking his like oily, greasy, sweat-stained hair all over a woman in the front row who's like, "Oh, Rob Lowe, you give me the vapors." And she's very excited by getting drenched with Rob Lowe's sweat. So in this, Bernhardt is like, well, if he's Rob Lowe, he's the villain of the St. Elmo's Fire to some extent, because he doesn't clean up his act until the last minute. But in this movie, where Kevin Bernhardt is playing a squeaky clean, moralistic, honest person, he's going to wash off the greasy moulet of Rob Lowe and have, while it's a dirty scene, it takes place in a clean environment. And that's what Bernhardt's all about.
The other thing I had trouble with was that I didn't recognize right away that it was the reporter.
I didn't either.
Yeah, because the hair, right? It was so teased
totally
in the
different.
Previous scene. Yeah. When she's in the shower, all that teasing is gone. And it's just, and I was like,
think of the hairspray clogging his pipes right now. That thick.
The fish that are just choking on Aquanet that are in the ocean in LA. Yeah.
I mean, the teasing of the hair was gone, but the teasing in other ways was alive and well.
Chris, you should do voiceovers for such scenes in movies. I just imagine watching this on the special Chris Kavinsky commentary version.
Yeah, just like I'm just doing running, like not commentary, like talking about like, oh, we filmed this and this, we use this kind of camp. No, I would just be like, I'm just narrating this story.
Earlier, her hair was teased.
Using my old wrestling announcer time and just like, oh, here we go. Her hair isn't teased anymore, but she's teasing them with those titties. I think we're now at the halfway point of the film, Matt. So I take another wrestling reference. I'll tag you in.
And before we tag Matt in, we're just going to take a little intermission in which we kind of talk about some other stuff. There is no interview on this show this week. In order to try and put more shows out, I'm going to kind of do one show with interviews, one show without interviews, kind of every month, or that's sort of the plan anyway. And don't forget, if you're enjoying the show, please go ahead and support us by either sharing, liking, commenting, engaging, all that good stuff on social media, or by rating and reviewing us wherever you can rate and review us, where podcasts are found. So thanks ever so much for listening. Here's just a short intermission with a fun little conversation that's about PM, but it's also about other stuff that I just thought I'd include. And then we will go back to Midnight Warrior. Hope you're enjoying the show.
Make you the news. They unfold in the story your soul.
There was not a lady news reporter in my shower when I went to the facilities.
Damn it, why not? Why not? Why was she not in there, Ms. Brown? Yeah. Well, I mean, she was very forthcoming.
Yeah.
And that's only because he came very quickly in quick succession 3 times. So she was forthcoming, if you know what I'm saying.
I do.
It's because he He comes like you hope that he's in scenes in very small bursts. The problem with this movie a little bit is him. He is a dim bulb.
I don't remember where. I know I watched this years ago, but I didn't review it because I'm like, well, doesn't really seem much like an action movie. Like it was
right.
so lit, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna review this. It wasn't. And then I'm rewatching. I'm like, yeah, I remember why I didn't review this. I remember why I just was like,
I quite like it. Of the early ones, it's up there with Angels of the City, which is by Angels of the City. I don't know if you've seen Angels of the City. A phenomenal that it is. It's like After Hours, like Scorsese's After Hours. If it was a late 80s, early 90s sex romp comedy that then becomes the darkest, most disturbing film in the history of PM Entertainment. If I tell you that this, well, I'm not even going to tell you. You've got to see Angels of the City. We've got to talk about Angels of the City at some point. It is their magnum opus of the early ones. It is like Shotgun is fun. Like Shotgun is fun in like that samurai cop type way. You're like, I watch Shotgun, I have a lot of fun. They know they're being goofy, and it's got the great soundtrack, and it's got some sleaze and some action. Shotgun's like the perfect early one. But then Angels of the City is like their Heaven's Gate. You know what I mean? Like it's there. We are putting it all on the line this time, people. It's like William Friedkin's Sorcerer. You know, they're off it's like Fitzgeraldo. It's like PM Entertainment's off in the jungle with 100 natives trying to push a huge boat over a cliff for no good reason. And that is Angels of the City. It gets so dark. It goes from like comical frat boy like orgasm face like they have in like sex romp comedies where the guy's like oh and making like a ridiculous face while he's in flagrante delicto. It goes from that all the way to, if I tell you that part of the plot of the movie is that as a hazing prank, as part of trying to join a sorority, 2 brand new pledges have to dress up as prostitutes and go out in like the very dangerous prostitute riddled Vice Squad streets of Los Angeles, right? And the idea, like After Hours, is that their night just goes from like bad to worse to weird to whatever over and over and over and over and over again. But the places that PM Entertainment take it to, mind blown. Like it's PM's Heaven's Gate. You've got to watch it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I have not seen it. So yeah, you pencil me in. I'll watch it.
Angel of the City. We've got to do an episode. It's so bizarre. It's absolutely wonderful.
And it reminds me yet again of another recent episode of Pack Blue that I watched, where sorority girls, as part of their they had to go to strip. They had to go to be strippers, but then they were getting the performances videotaped, and then they were being like, "Oh, you have to keep doing it, and you have to give us all your money, or we'll send this tape to all your friends and family that you're." A dirty horse stripper.
Revenge porn before. It was like the earliest version of revenge porn. Yeah.
So yeah, these poor girls were and then one girl died because there was some high roller who would come and have the private dances, the dances for money. Any old music will do. But he would he would get rough with the girls, and he got a little too rough with the one, and it definitely this like last season of Pack Blue, they're like, let's silk stockings this show up a bit.
Yeah, that's the only direction any TV show should go.
Right.
Is either silk stockings or, of course, PM Entertainment's own LA Heat, which is, I've only seen like the first 5 or 6 episodes. The first episode alone is mind-bogglingly insane. I'm like, you have set the bar so high.
Wait till you get to the Billy Barty episode and you enjoy yourself.
I just love Stephen Williams when Joe Yannick interviewed him for the oral history of PM Entertainment, and Stephen Williams is just like, I don't even know what these guys were doing. Like, they didn't know what they were doing. I've never been on a TV set where nobody knew what they were doing. They didn't know how to make a TV show. I had to tell them how to do stuff. It was like,
and yet what they produced,
Yeah.
What I love about LA Heat, I was a small diversion on LA Heat, and then we'll go back. I promise we'll go back to Midnight Warrior. But what I love about it is that whenever they need Kenneth Tiger to come on and be like the shouty police chief, who's just like Riggs, Motel, whatever, right? Whenever they need him, he shows up wherever they are. So they don't have to go back to the police station to get a bollocking, right? If like a bomb's just gone off and the whole building's gone up and they've run out of it in slow motion, right? And they're sat by the car and the other police haven't even shown up yet. There's no ambulance, no police, whatever. Kenneth Tiger just walks in from the side being like, what have you done? You've blown up another building. And it's the economy of storytelling where they just like, well, of course Tiger knows where they are. Tiger knows where they are all the time. So
Well, and it's so easy to navigate Los Angeles. There's never any traffic or anything. You easily can get from one place to the other. Like, oh yeah, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Don't worry about it.
I'll be there in 5 minutes to chew their ass. Anyway, we are going to go back to part 2, which tonight is sponsored by the Timothy Chalamet Organization for the Belief in Part 2s. So we are back, which is a real charity. Please scan this QR code now on your phone to give us all of your money. This is not a scam. QR codes are the future. Anyway, Matt, let us go forward.
In the streets where life is so hard, the warrior faces sometimes a dividing call. Warrior, what to bring to us all.
And we ended with an exciting shower scene. We pick up part 2 with old grandma and the kids.
Yeah, no, it's right before old grandma and the kids. Doesn't he assault or accost his mother to
it's with the Christmas tree.
Right, he comes with the Christmas tree.
Right. Sorry, yes, the Christmas tree.
And he's like, and his mom's like, and he's like, I want you to give me Angelina's number. I want you to introduce me to her, or, set up a date. And she's like, no, all you're doing is just going out and hooking up with all these chicks. I don't want you doing that to poor Angelina. And I think this is where she drops the passive aggressive. She's like a daughter to me since you're never around. You just show up and eat my spaghetti and that's it.
Throw it all over the living room carpet. Yeah.
So finally she relents and she says, okay, I will give you her number. Now the next scene, there's like some sort of like family get together thing. It's not Christmas Eve yet. So it's not the night of 7 fishes. We're not quite there yet, but it's like some kind of get together. And I don't know if that's supposed to be.
Because he's only just bought the tree. So this is early Christmas.
Yeah. Is this his family with her coming to hang out? Or is it her family and he's hanging out?
I think he's hanging out with her. I think it's him hanging out with her family. That's why he's like trying to make a good impression.
Right.
Yeah.
Doing card tricks for the Pepin girls.
Was that who they were? The Pepin girls?
Yes, it's the Pepin.
Oh, the Pepin. Okay. I was wondering whose daughters they were. Because I knew there had to be somebody who's making the movie's daughters.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's doing a card trick with them. He's like, hey, pick a card. He puts the card in his pockets and he's like, okay, is this your card? Yay, it's my card. Is this your card? Yeah. And how about this deck? Oh, it's your deck. That's right. It's what, And then he's like, he goes, Grandma, do you want to do a card trick? And Grandma's like, what did she? I don't remember what she thought he said.
Goes a card trick,
but she didn't say. She said something else, like something like carp.
What did she say? I don't know what that is. She said something like that.
Right. Yeah, she couldn't. And he's just like, scoot over, Granny, and then he slides in.
She doesn't know, and then she delivers the worst version of Encumpare that I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah,
but here's what goes through my mind, right? And this is why I love PM Entertainment. And this is one of the reasons I adore them. It's because on one hand, they're like, we're going to shoot it fast, get it done next, right? On one hand, they're like, well, you got one take at this, Spiro, with 14 helicopters and Gary Daniels hanging off a skyscraper and guns going off. You've got one take, Spiro. However, in the middle of Midnight Warrior, they're going to suddenly do this awkward thing where you can have him sitting next to her at the beginning of the scene and have the girls just slightly down the table. He could still be doing card tricks and everything would be fine. Right. But no, him moving Granny, which she is not aware what's going on. I'm not even sure if this poor lady speaks English to any degree where she understands, like, could you move down the couch? Also, why are you moving Granny down the couch? Like, Granny has served her time, ladies and gentlemen. She should not be moved down any couch. Certainly not her own couch. Like, he's just shoving her around. So it's a weird thing, and I think maybe PM are attempting comedy here. I think that's what we're meant to. But I'm sorry.
She gets like his ass in her face, like while he's scooting over. It's the whole thing is just awkward.
It's just awkward.
She's in LA Crackdown 2 as bank customer.
Oh, she is? Okay.
That was her other credit.
What's her name?
It is Michelina Cantalupo.
Oh, you've got to say that carefully, that name.
Yeah, I mean, because I think the whole thing is right is that you sort of revere your elders in Italian culture. You know, it's like when Nonna and Nono come over, you know, it's everything's about them, right? That's the idea. And here's Nick, who is supposed to be of that. He's just
wait, can Nonna touch Nono in the Nono area?
I'm assuming, but I imagine the kids don't want to think about that, right?
Nona, is that you in the shower?
I mean, obviously Nona had to do it at least 8 times because usually they have a bunch of kids, right? So they had to, you know, right,
to cement them in the Americas,
right? Exactly. But yeah, so you're right. And then he's like sitting next to Angelina, and that's even an awkward conversation. I think she's supposed to be smitten with him, but she just looks completely weirded out. She's like, "No, I don't know any card tricks. No, I don't know." But yeah,
and by the way, if you're weirding out a woman who, when she first meets you and you dribble spaghetti all over your top, will come over and start wiping you. If you're weirding out that woman, you have to go a long way to weird out a woman who just crosses a room with someone she has never met before and starts mopping spaghetti off his jersey as if, it's so weird. If you're out weirding her, you're in real trouble, Bernhardt.
I think it was the acting, because I don't think she really was supposed to be weirded. I think she was supposed to be endeared by him because she's supposed to think he's funny, and then she dons a leather skirt and goes on a date with him.
He said be endeared with him. And what she
the best she could do was looking weirded out, right?
Would look weird out,
yeah. And so then they go on this date where, you know, again, she's, you know, she looks
third
great.
Montage, just while we're keeping up with the montage.
Yeah,
this is the romantic montage.
Yeah, and
Chinatown.
And they're in Chinatown, which for me on my site, I do tag Chinatowns when they show up, but this LA Chinatown is the one that comes up the most. This is the one that we see quite a bit here. I've never actually been to this Chinatown, so I need to.
Lethal Weapon 4 with Jet Li, a famous Jet Li sequence within downtown Los Angeles Chinatown.
Yeah, I've been to the San Francisco Chinatown, but not the LA one.
As have I, and the New York one, but not the Los Angeles one.
Now, which New York one did you do? The Manhattan?
Yes, the Manhattan.
Yeah, the Queens one. If you get a chance, like if you go to see a Mets game, check out the Queens one. There's some nice, you can get some nice buns that you can take with you into the park.
I love a Queens nice buns.
nice buns.
Anyway, sorry. Third montage, romantic montage.
Right. Chinatown, going to see a movie, different outfits. There's a couple of scenes from the second date are spliced into this first date. Because there's a couple times where she's wearing a suede skirt as opposed to the leather skirt. Right. But the thing is that he wears the same outfit.
Matt is a student of skirts.
Well,
he's got a very keen eye on skirts.
Well, the jackets are different too. I think she's wearing a kind of an oversized leather one in the second date, and yeah, it's definitely a different outfit. And I know Mr. Volk, Mr. Paul Volk, he listens to this one. I don't know if he has a reason for why they.
Well, I think probably they wanted to shorten the fourth month because, by the way, people, the uninitiated, we do get a fourth montage. This movie has as many montages as Rocky IV, I think, maybe one more than Rocky IV. And Rocky IV, I think, is 90% montage. But we get a fourth montage, and I think probably what it was is they looked at the pacing, and they thought we could probably pad out the earlier montage, but let's quicken up the second romantic montage because we've got to get to the quite bizarre finale.
Right. But what it ends up looking like is you think that they're on multiple dates over multiple periods of time, and they've fallen in love over like weeks. When the next day, when he goes back to the studio, you find out that it's just been one night of one date with her.
But he also goes from being on the skids to having 3 cars and a pricey Christmas tree without breaking a sweat in the course of a day as well. So
right. Well, he's always had that nice house that we find out had a pool and all this other stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
That was thanks to Buddy. His first assignment he gave Nick, $10,000 he got, put it right down on this place.
Yeah.
That's right.
We'll get
That's
this.
right.
With this sweet ass pool.
That's right. That's right. So he goes to see Buddy, and Buddy's like, "Oh, we got these deals," and Nick's already starting to be like, "I don't even know how much I want to keep doing this stuff." I've met a nice girl. I'm ready to settle down and all that stuff. And Nick's like, "Nah, we got to strike while the iron's hot. This is all great." And so then our our people from the network show up, including our newscaster who Nick had the shower scene with. Nick acts like he doesn't know her. Right? Oh, I barely remember you from whatever.
Right. That was strange.
From like a day ago.
Right. Well, because now he's with, he wants to act like there's nothing between them because
it's been less than a week and he's so far been with 3 different women.
Right. Well,
is it 3 or 4?
So it's the newscaster, the diner,
the waitress, and
then Montucci, right?
Yeah. So I guess it's 3.
And Nona is 4.
No.
Exactly. Theirs is a love that shall not be named.
Yeah. But yeah, so Nick is ready to get back out there. He wants to do it. But the thing is, he's a famous celebrity now because of saving that woman. And the governor says, "Hey, I want you to film this like ribbon cutting thing that I'm doing out in the middle of the woods somewhere." And Nick's like, "Really? You want me to do that?" And it's like, "Hey, this is where the money is." Okay.
The governor has a really weird rider. The governor says he needs 3 things. He needs Nick to shoot it.
Right.
He needs a Winnebago. They're like, "I'm sorry, why? Why is there a Winnebago?" He's like, "I need a Winnebago. And then I need a building made out of cake." And the governor will not show up if he doesn't have Nick shooting everything, a Winnebago and a cake building. That's what the governor did. He won't turn up for anything less, Matt.
I like the plastic champagne glasses too. That really classed up the whole.
Yeah, and the flag hanging from the tree.
Yeah.
I remember I went to this offbeat like bar nightclub place in Boston for New Year's, like about 25 years ago with some friends, and their whole like, "Oh, we're gonna do a champagne toast for New Year's." That's what it was. Everybody get a plastic. It's the only time first time in my life I've ever seen those plastic champagne. But it was like, and they were the same kind. They were like kind of the flatter ones, like they were using here. So
also, what a weird governor, because this is meant to be the governor of California. I'm presuming, right? And yet they have him be. And I know I'm not saying that California's like always been Democrat, but like they have him be like this grumpy miser, like don't give any money to the homeless. They should get on jobs. Just give them bigger boxes if they're complaining or whatever.
I think that's what it was then, though. I think because LA, especially the LA area, but California in general, it used to be more conservative. It's funny.
It did? Okay.
Like the modern conservative movement was actually born out of Orange County in the 50s and 60s
Reagan
after the war.
Ronald Reagan was the governor at one point. So
right. Yeah, the reason why we have tons of student loans.
You're right. He was the governor before he was El Presidente. No, indeed. But yeah, I love how PM at this point, you've got the back seat of a limousine, or suppose it's meant to look like the back seat of a limousine, with the thing there, and his I don't know, assistant or secret service or whatever it is, whoever the guy is. He's like, "You've got this now." And he's like, what are we doing? Where are we? And we're like, "It's your building. Like, it's nobody. You've called everyone here. Like, no, like, it's not like he's being taken to a thing. Right. This is, we've been introduced to this as his building, and he's confused as to why he's there." Right. And then they've made him a cake of the building. Like, they've got all out for this thing.
Did anyone recognize Mr. James Sweeney from anything?
So he looked very familiar.
Pack Blue or whatever the show is.
No, it wasn't Pack Blue.
Probably was, but yeah.
Hobgoblins.
Oh, right. That's right. The MST3K.
He was the old security guard teaching the young security guard.
So he's
sentence fragments, just phrases.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So he's all aghast because after this building event, which he himself wanted to do, even though now he can't even remember scheduling it, after this, he's got to go do some photo op with the homeless. And this drives him mental with anguish. And I love how PM crowbars in a little cynical politics about homelessness at the top of this scene, because this scene looks like they filled it with homeless people as cast members.
Right. Well, and so like they're out in the
it just
woods.
all looks like people who shouldn't be dressed up that way, and they've gone hold the champagne and just kind of like wave it about the place. Like it's just such a weird scenario. Why, you know what I mean? But I love
Yeah,
it.
they
I love
if they're
beautiful
drinking
PM.
it, they're used to having the paper bag still.
Yeah, right. They should all be drinking or flasks, dented tin flasks. Anyway, sorry. Yes, go
That's
back.
one of the things I think about the early PM, and I didn't look through the full credits here to see if there was an extras wrangler. I know Kato Kalin had that job a lot. If you watch, there's a lot of movies where you see he does like extras casting and wrangling. But I get the sense from the old PM movies that it was just like, let's get as many family and friends. I mean, right, and when you had Art Camacho on, he talked about when he had to do the fight tournament in
Right.
A Dangerous Place, that they were like, just get as many people as you can, you know.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that it's just like, hey, you know, who wants to be in this PM movie? Oh, get your best outfit, I guess, your best like cocktail party outfit, and sit there drinking out of a plastic champagne thing. But then the thing is that you've got to now replace these people with stunt people, because a helicopter just starts swooping, and while the governor's giving his speech, suddenly this helicopter comes in.
The governor, who, and we're not surprised by this because he's already a controversial fellow just within this movie,
Right.
but clearly a controversial governor because someone has sent not just an assassin, but a helicopter assassin.
Right.
And that's the worst. That's the top level of assassin. If you're worthy of a helicopter, you've done some bad shit. I'm just saying.
Now that makes you wonder: is that why they had this ceremony, like in the woods, hoping the trees would give them cover from a potential helicopter assassin? But it didn't work. They were too close to a clearing.
Yeah, they were too close to a clearing, and they'd hung a bloody great flag from the tree that was just like a bullseye to these
Right.
people who clearly hate flags and people who would hang them from trees.
Yeah. So first off, the helicopter is just a nuisance, right? The helicopter's moving in while
Oh, it's just some news.
it was just making a lot of noise and everything. And the funny thing is, you think about the police, how the police are previously in the movie, right? So it's like, one, they were just so annoyed that the pizza shop owner was holding his ex-girlfriend hostage, or his mistress hostage. They were just so annoyed by it that the cop was just like telling Addison Rae, just shoot him when you get a chance. Just get him out. We don't want to deal with this guy.
Can we stop this scene, please? Just shoot him.
Just shoot him. And then later, when the woman's in the flaming car, the cop's like, we can't save her, but it's too late, right? And like, but it's not, you're the police. It's like, what happened to 9/11, right? With all the police officers and firemen going back into the building, and in the PM world, it's like, no, we can't be bothered. So now we've got like,
well, this was the late 80s, early 90s, Matt.
Right,
It
exactly.
it was a dark day for the police.
Right, exactly. Well, here we've got these I don't know what you call them, like these security guys who, like, it takes them a second to realize.
Are they meant to be Secret Service? Do governors have Secret Service?
No.
I
So
think that like state troopers are the one who
right, you get state troopers in real life, but in this, it was just like, we're just going to use, because I guess it makes sense why they wouldn't use state troopers, because if you get the stuntmen in this scene, you can just put a suit on them and make it seem like they're
just a black suit, black sunglasses.
To get the suit,
boom.
then they just to go to the costume place and get state trooper outfits. Yeah. It would have been nice, right, if you had like Ponch and Baker, doing this. But so the helicopter starts getting closer, and they realize, oh no, the helicopter's shooting. By the time these cop guys or whatever, these security guys, figure out that this helicopter is shooting at them, people have already died. Multiple people die because of this. So finally they get their act together and they start shooting at the helicopter themselves. Now, this is the thing that I wonder about. This kind of goes back to the conversation in Clerks about the independent contractors working on the Death Star, right, when it's blown up.
Yeah.
Was this a helicopter pilot in on it with the guy shooting them, or did they hire a contractor who had no idea what was going on, and suddenly he's hovering over this area here and they're shooting? It's like, because he gets blown up.
Helicopter's got to be in on it, or is there under duress? Because you could have a like tourist helicopter, right? Would take you out over the ocean, take you out over an attractive part of the city, or would take you to like Hoover Dam or Grand Canyon or whatever, like those kind of tourist helicopters. There aren't many that go, take me to a patch of a clearing amongst some trees where the governor's going to be. Could you take me to the governor's thing? Like that's not going to be a thing unless either he's in on it or the guy came on the helicopter with a bloody great gun and went, fly me here. And,
well, that means when he gets blown up, he's an innocent, I
Yeah.
wonder if he worked for the same company that Carrie Wink worked for in Skyscraper.
I think so, probably.
It's
like the world of many helicopters. So, like every helicopter, are you saying every helicopter is from that company that Carrie Wink works in?
It's possible, yes.
In which case it loses more helicopters. Like more helicopters of that company have exploded over Los Angeles
I'm
than any
wondering,
other company.
did they get this rent this helicopter at the Catalina wine mixer?
Oh, right.
Yeah, perhaps it was. Yes, perhaps it was. That would be great to see a mashup YouTube edit of this and the Catalina wine mixer. And they're just playing Volare like very seriously and earnestly while all these people are getting shot. Like they do.
That song would be perfect for it.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it just everyone is getting shot and you slow down the footage. So it's like that. And then like to the sound of Volare, and then it would cut back and the guy would just be like, it's the fucking Catalina wine.
would Horatio Sands, would he get hit? Like could you bring him back to shoot a scene where he gets hit, maybe, or use like AI, or maybe you get somebody who looks Horatio Sands-ish while they're doing like the 80s Joel cover band,
Oh, right. What you see? So what you're supposing is that we get an AI doo-wop Joel cover band to run away in this YouTube edit we're making of these two movies and have them like shot in the back.
Right. Yes. Horatio Sands just like, right. Like he's getting it. Yes.
Yeah. All right. I love it. So yes, the gun rate, and no one burst forth from the Winnebago. They've brought the Winnebago for nothing. If it was me and my weirdly Secret Service like men in suits had brought a Winnebago, I would hope that Winnebago was full of Gatling guns and bazookas. It's not. This poor little cop has to fire at this helicopter 48 times with a six.
If it was you, John, it'd be Christopher Lloyd or Timothy Chalamet coming out of the Winnebago with a Gatling gun, or maybe both.
Can you imagine a Christopher Lloyd type coming out of the Winnebago with a Gatling gun and just taking down the helicopter? What about the governor himself?
Yeah.
Like, he goes, I've been waiting for this. He just screws in a stogie cigar, puts on some shades, grabs a Gatling gun and walks out of the Winnebago and takes down the helicopter himself. And he's like, and that's what you do with the damn homeless. And he just drives off into the sunset.
I love it if he does like a Jack Scalia in Dark Breed, where like somebody else is like messing around with the Gatling gun. He's like, Sergeant, hand me that weapon, and he gives the Gatling gun. He's like,
no, I just like I like the idea that this governor is like what he's always wanted to secretly be, is like John Wayne or something,
I wonder too, from an exploding helicopter standpoint, if PM has the most helicopters blown up by handguns. Because you've got this one, you've got Ring of Fire 3. It seems to happen more in PM movies than anywhere else. It seems like
it's because, I don't know whether you know this, Matt, but back in the 80s and early 90s, helicopters were made with a fault. It's since been remedied, but it was a place on the underside of the helicopter where if a normal 6-shot revolver bullet pierced this particular, the very thin membrane, no one really knows why they didn't reinforce it, but it hit the gas tank immediately. Right. Really, you'd think that they would put the gas tank in some kind of protective. They didn't. They went pure plastic with it. They fucked the whole thing up. And after the 90s, thankfully, the government got together and wrote a decree that they had to make helicopters out of actual material.
Sounds very Death Star plan.
Yeah, it was. It was modeled on the Death Star because they saw what success that had. You know what I mean?
Now at this point, at this point, he gets away, he escapes, and he's got the footage. Of course, he's got all this great footage. So everybody's excited that he's got the footage of the exploding helicopter, all of this stuff. So his star is rising even more. At the same time, his star is rising more. he's got Angelina Santucci over on the other side there, who he's really falling for. And so he's kind of making it known, like, hey, I'm kind of out. I'm done with this stuff. Like, he's like, this was ridiculous today.
Such
this
is the draw of the Mantucci.
This is the Mantucci. Mantucci, not Santucci. Mantucci. Santucci
Such
is
the
the pizza
draw
place
of
here.
her that he's just like, I'm ready to throw my thousands away and just luxuriate in my pool for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
Flicking my mullet up and down.
Yes. So he tells Bernie that yeah, you know what, this is it for me. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. This was my last job. I got enough money. I'm fine. I'm gonna live happily ever after with this woman. And so he goes for another montage date with Santucci. So I think the montage date, does that happen before the news lady comes and is like, hey, where's Nick? And he goes,
think right after Nick leaves, we see Bernie meet with with Liz.
And there are a couple of times as well that Bernie, and this is what really confused me, because I think also either the IMDb description or maybe it's even the back of the VHS, it indicates that part of the plot is that his assignments are being forcibly made more dangerous by his manager. There's even a bit where I think Bernie Angel says something along the lines of like, and if there isn't any dangerous news, maybe we'll have to create some or whatever. And they laugh manically
with the blue light on him.
And I'm like, did Bernie Angel arrange for the governor to get shot at? Like, is he the guy behind it all?
Yes, 100%.
He could be, right?
Wow. Okay. I mean, I know he goes nuts, and well, you'll tell us what happens. But like, when I went back and watched it the second time, I was like, wait, he says a couple of times like, we'll have to manufacture the news, or he says like, we'll have to make it more dangerous for him or something at some point as well. And I'm like, so is old Bernie Ainge behind all this stuff?
It's the only thing that makes sense. It's the only explanation.
Especially for like why this like helicopter just kind of floats by and it's like this haphazard assassination attempt.
Right, because the governor like is long gone and they're still just shooting everything up.
Right.
Like,
well, I think it's the kind of assassination attempt that Buddy Arnstein can afford. That's what.
True. Yeah, he doesn't have the best. He's not hiring the Yakuza to take care of this. He's
yeah, he's not going ninja style.
He went to the Catalina wine mixer. He's like, hey, get a pilot. My cousin has a hunting rifle. It's that damn governor. Who are we killing? The governor? Oh, yeah, we all hate him. Yeah, we'll go kill him for you, Bernie.
Yeah. So that's, I think that Bernie, we're saying that Buddy Arnstein is behind this whole shebang.
He could be. Now the news lady says, hey, it looks like he's done. It looks like he's quitting. And Bernie says, no, you got us for 2 years. You're going to get 2 years of Nick. I'm going to make sure that happens.
Right.
But we got another montage date coming up here. And so this looks like it's taken more of the outfit. The second outfit from the first date is in this date more. So it looks like they took elements from this first date and they mixed them in sometimes with the second one. But this is more. Now, this isn't the one where they go. I
guarantee they filmed it on the same night and she just changed in that Winnebago they had handy.
Yeah. I mean, this is more Christmassy. They're doing more Christmas stuff.
Oh, this is a Christmas romance montage as opposed to Chinatown.
Yes, I was trying to remember because there was some goofy stuff that happens. I know, like there's a goofy running across the street scene, but I thought there was some goofy stuff.
Well, there was in the earlier montage they were using separate phone booths to call.
That's right. That's right. That was a good move.
And there was that robot guy.
Robot dude.
The robot guy
genuinely scared her. That Lily Melgar, she's not that. Lily, we love you, but you're not that good an actress. When you were startled in that scene, I believe that was real startling.
Yeah.
But yes, so they're at an ice cream place, and there's like a guy in a tuxedo with like slick down hair.
Oh, they're going to see a movie. They're going to see a movie.
Oh, is that what it? I thought he put ice cream out. No, okay, they're going to see a movie then. Okay, yeah, you're right. And there's
like a theater of some sort. Yeah,
pantomime out the front, like he's a robot, and then suddenly he goes "ah" and like lunges quite dramatically at old man Tooch, and she's having none of that shit. No, she's not happy about that at all. But yeah, those are the goofy things, I think. I'm trying to think what other. Oh, she tries on a kimono at one point.
Yeah.
And tries to look all sexy in a kimono, I think.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that for some reason I was thinking there's something goofy that happens while they're at the Christmas thing. I can't remember if there's like one of those things like you put your head in a hole and like some like like scene or something, or I don't remember. It was one of those deals where they were just kind of hanging around doing stuff.
Well, the wind gets up. Those old Santa
That's
Anas
right.
come
That's right.
blowing
It was.
through while they're on the Christmas tree lot or wherever they are.
That's right. That's right. But we get the sense, hey, Nick is falling in love with this woman. And there's a scene now.
They've had 2 love montages in the space of 12 hours, and once you've gone double love montage,
That's
I mean,
like the
there's
double
no
explosion.
turning back. Yeah, it's a double explosion. Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, at this point, Nick is like he's looking like he's ready to turn the corner. He's ready to leave this life of his behind
and consummate his relationship with Miss Mantooch.
Yeah. Now, Bernie, of course, he said he's going to make sure that this, he's going to make this work. So he breaks into Nick's pool area.
Oh, don't. Oh, wait. Oh, no, you're going for that scene first. Sorry.
Okay. Did I miss? Was there something else before or no?
No, his scene at the pool takes place before the second montage.
Right. Yeah, I believe you're right. There's another date that happens.
Because I watched the montage going, why is she not mentioning
it's the third montage.
Showed
it's
up?
It's the third montage, right? The third montage is when I think, right? The third date montage that has scenes from the other montages, right? Isn't there 3 date montages?
No, there's 2. A big one and a small one.
Okay, so you're right. He shows up before the second one.
He does, because the whole second one, I'm watching it going, any minute now, she's going to tell him, she's going to tell Nick that Buddy showed up and was like a creepy SOB and he should get rid of him as soon as possible. But she doesn't tell him.
Right.
And then you're like, why wouldn't you tell him?
Yeah, and it's so creepy. It's like really bad. It's like the kind of stuff that you could easily get a restraining order for today, But you're right, she doesn't tell her. And so after the date montage,
that's what I was going to say. Don't sell the bird soliloquy short.
No. So we're about 15 minutes left of the movie. That's about what we've got left at this point.
Okay, yeah.
And we come into the house and she says something to the effect of, I'd like to have a dog. I'd like a dog or something. All right. Or the dogs are nice or something. And he's like, oh, have you ever had a dog? No, I've never had a dog. What about you? And he says, not dogs, but I like birds. And he goes on this montage for a good 2 minutes or not montage, it's soliloquy, like you said, talking about how fluffy their feathers are and how they sing and all these things, which
the monologue about the voice of a bird is the voice of God. It's just it's epic in stature. And I have to say, of all the bad acting he does in the movie, he does, and I'm sorry, Bernhardt, we'll get into it, but like Bernhardt is like, I think the one mistake with this movie, and I know why he's in it and I get it, but he's the one thing that to me kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. But he nails, I have to say, Kevin, to give you your what do they say, give props to give you some props. You do nail the bird soliloquy from Midnight Warrior.
Now as he's doing the bird soliloquy, Mantucci, Angelina, she is completely smitten with this. She just loves this. She's filling up a teapot at the time. And for me, usually when I watch a movie like this and I see a teapot put on a stove, that tells me something bad's about to happen. But it usually has something to do with the teapot. And that's not what happened. I don't know. Should I just say it? Should we just get
did we mention that his what is this, their third date or second date? Well, it depends if you count the mopping of spaghetti off his sweater as a first date. I don't know. Is that first base? Is that half base? I don't know what that is. What is that?
Half penny.
It's old half penny is what it is. Oh, that was good, Chris. That was excellent. I like that a lot. And then they had the other date in Chinatown. Then they've gone on a cinema date. So this is like third date, fourth date, something like that. And his big romantic move is, I'm going to make you, again, food shenanigans.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you dinner in bed. I've heard of breakfast in bed.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the move, I'm going to make you dinner. And the twist is, we're going to be in bed when we eat it, which is way less erotic in reality than it sounds when Bernhardt's trying to say it to Melka.
Especially when we saw the way this man eats at a table. I mean, those sheets are just going to be covered in
He makes an
spaghetti sauce.
enormous bowl of spaghetti, and as he brings it into the bedroom, she just goes, "Oh fuck no!"
They're just going to be like spaghetti wrestling on the bed. They're just pouring
gonna
on
be
there.
I have to put the plastic sheets down, right?
Yeah.
The
She's
plastic
getting.
overlay.
It cuts to the next morning. They're both just covered with spaghetti, and she's got like a wet wipe, and is just wet wiping every corner of the bedroom.
See, you laugh about this, but
Yeah.
this was a better ending. What you're saying right now
Right
now is
Yeah.
much better. Like this would have if that had happened, right? We'd
Right.
probably be talking about this as like a 5-star movie. How much
You're
fun
saying
it
if
was.
it went out on a bang instead of going out on a bang.
Right. I think if it had gone out the way you're describing, and now granted you still have another 10 minutes of movie left, so you do some other things as well. But
Yeah.
but if the scene
Well, you
is,
end on the wedding, Matt. I mean, that's
Right.
what you do. You end on the wedding, where
Right.
of course they serve spaghetti.
oh
And the very last scene of the movie is the high table at the wedding ceremony, the reception rather, and he's just got spaghetti down his tux, and she just looks at him and goes, "That's my man," and just goes wiping with his, and that's how you end the movie.
And then
That's
a
the
helicopter flies in and shoots them all.
I was going to say the helicopter, right? And also the Godfather.
And it's the governor going, it's the governor with the rifle.
Right, and they're all, and that's like it's like kind of cut of them like running away. The other thing I was thinking is the Godfather. They bring up the Godfather, so you could do like a whole thing of like a bunch of
Now
Pauls.
I want this movie, Matt. I want this movie, now.
Right, it's just a bunch of Pauls giving them, envelopes of money while he's covered in spaghetti sauce.
If it's like The Godfather, I hope the grandma or Nona does not get up on the stage
No.
to sing
Yeah, she
A
does.
Campari again, because that's again the worst rendition of all.
She sings Volare backed by John C.
Brennan.
Reilly and yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, what are they called? Worldwide something?
Prestige Worldwide.
Prestige Worldwide, right? Backed
Put
by-
white out on a bee, it died.
Yeah.
But yes, no, we go total left turnsville.
Yeah.
You hear a scream. You hear him yelling no. There's kind of a fade out. Then there's a shot of the guy of Bernie stabbing with a steak knife, her kind of putting up some defense, but essentially getting killed. And that's it. The next scene is him at the police station talking to the detective who he'd spoken to early in the film about the woman who killed herself. And she says like, "Hey, you're on the hook for this murder." He's like, "Wait, my fiance or this woman that I love that I was going to settle down with, they weren't quite fiancés yet. They'd only been on 3 dates, but the woman that he loved and was ready to settle
He
down
moves
with."
fast though. He's already been on the skids, become a millionaire, dated 3 women, decided he doesn't want the job that he's always wanted anymore, all in the space of 4 days in the lead up to Christmas. So, he moves quickly.
Yeah. But he says, "Hey, I've got a cufflink. I know it was Bernie, or, I know Bernie did it. I know Buddy. Yeah. I know he did it. I've got his cufflink here." And they're like, "Well, that's not enough. We can't convict him. Everybody's got that cufflink. It's a cheap cufflink. Everybody's got that."
Right.
So he gets a crazy Grinchy idea to do his own revenge.
Yeah.
So first is he goes back to see Buddy or Bernie, and he says, "You know what? You were right. I needed to just come back and do all this." And Bernie's like, "Oh, how are you doing? You doing all right?" Because he knows
Well,
he
it's
killed.
but it's such a weird plan because it set up this scene, the talking scene, as if either he's recording it and he's trying to get Buddy to admit something, which is what you would expect after the police scene.
Yeah.
First saying like, "We can't get any stuff based on this evidence. We need more evidence." You think what he's going to do is get more evidence from Buddy. So there's this long dialogue scene, which you can get into, Matt, but like there's this long dialogue scene that ends and you go, well, no one was clever. Nothing was revealed. He didn't get anything on tape. And like, because you think the other thing he would do is somehow outwit him or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I thought that scene was. No, it was just a chance for old Bernie Angel to give us one last glorious performance.
Right. Well, and then and we did like the character says, hey, remember that Lincoln you bought me when I got my first big story? And Bernie's like, yeah. He's like, well, I want you to have it. and he just brings him, just drops the keys down. Now I guess this is like Roadhouse, where you don't need pink slips or anything like that. Like when Roadhouse, when he's leaving to go out to Missouri, and he just gives the guy, the hobo, or the guy dealing with housing insecurity, he just gives him a set of keys and just says, "Here, you can have my car." I guess that's how it's the Roadhouse rules for car ownership.
But
we
can't get bogged down in whether he's got a registration or whether he's got a license. So we can't. That's irrelevant detail to PM Entertainment. What is important is that it is a blue Lincoln that he got as a gift from Buddy.
Yeah. But he never drove. It only has 22 miles on it.
Never drove. It only has 22 miles on it. It's been in his garage forever. Yeah. And Buddy revealed, the big reveal of this scene is that Buddy wanted the car for himself. Yeah. And he still gave it to young Nick.
Yeah. And Nick's like, "Here, I want you to have it." Buddy's like, "I couldn't do that." He's like, no. You gave me so many gifts before. You have to take this. I would be offended if you don't take it. And Buddy's like, "Okay, all right." And he fingers the keys and he's like, "Yeah, okay, all right." But that's the trap.
Right.
So then he's like, "Hey, I want you to meet me."
He has rigged the car. He has jerry rigged everything in the car. He can hear him. He clear as day through the windshield.
Yeah. So which is the best. So underneath the bridge, Buddy goes to meet him there about a story. And Nick's got all his cameras and everything set up. When Buddy stops the car, he turns it off. Suddenly the thing locks and he can't turn it back on again. And there's that's when Nick explains to him, like, "I know you killed my girlfriend. I know it was you. You broke my heart. And yeah, I'm gonna get, and at first, Bernie's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. You're being crazy. Let me out of this car." And then eventually he admits, like, yeah, that's right. I did it. I did it for you, though. I did it for you. And he's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna blow you up." And but he films it, right? He's got, so he acts like he's filming. I don't think he actually films it. He just acts like he's filming.
Oh no, he films it because he sells it to undergroundsnuff.org or whatever.
Right. But yeah, I mean,
Bernie goes boom boom. It's a big hit on the black market.
Yeah, I mean, if you had two options, right? You have messy sex with spaghetti leading to a messy wedding with spaghetti, and everybody lives happily ever after, except for the helicopter coming in.
And it becomes a very spaghetti themed film all of a sudden.
That would be okay. That would you have that option, or you've got this Left Turnsville murder blow up thing that this becomes in the last 10 minutes. It's a fascinating decision to go in that direction.
But it's one for which, while I understand that you would probably prefer the more romantic and eloquent spaghetti ending, I am all for the last third act swift 90-degree what the fuck left turn that we take at this point. I love the idea that Buddy is just Buddy quietly behind the scenes has become so enamored with the lifestyle that'll keep him in slightly cheap tweed jackets and V-neck sweaters and
cheap cufflinks
and Kohl's bought cufflinks. No disparaging Kohl's. I buy a lot of my t-shirts at Kohl's, but cufflinks not necessarily their area of expertise. But this is what he's wearing. And he's become very enamored, Matt. He cannot lose that lifestyle. So much so that he thinks that the way he's going to get Nick back in the newsroom and back on the streets with Sam filming blood and guts and horror is by murdering the woman that he's been telling everyone teaches blind kids. That's how much he loves her, Matt. He's telling everyone he knows. Told Sam 20 times already. Only 20 times. Oh, Sam, we're best friends. We will make the news forever. And he thinks, well, I know what'll get him back in the news van. What'll put some pep in his step is if I hideously murder his girlfriend, who he has fallen wildly head over heels with, so much so that he's let her in on the whole bird soliloquy thing. He doesn't whip that out just for anybody.
But it's a very PM kind of thing too. I mean, it's a very movie, especially 80s and 90s movie kind of thing, where nobody has trauma, nobody deals with the after effects.
Wait till you see Angels in the City.
Okay, yeah, so sure.
Yeah,
but it's like oh yeah, if I kill the girlfriend, well, now he has no encumbrances. He can just come back and work. And it's like, yeah, there's not going to be a period of mourning or a
Right.
period of being right or just being distraught. I mean,
By the way,
especially
this is a guy who's made enough money that after two shoots
right.
to turn his back on the whole thing. He's done. He's like, I've made my money and I've fallen in love and I want to go have little babies with Mantucci. I'm done with this. I'm breaking away from this popsicle stand grandpa and I'm off doing my own thing. And this after, as I said, 2 days. And, he's already quit. So why would murdering the love of his life make him go, oh, I'm sorry. I thought when you said, I didn't know you were serious. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Okay. I'll come back then.
And the other problem there is how quickly he fell in love. What's to say he's not going to fall in love
Right.
with somebody on the next assignment? So
Right.
is he just going to keep killing women?
No, but he's also probably, he's got Liz Brown waiting in the wings. Bernhardt already knows that like Brown will take him back in a heartbeat because of his pleather jacket and Rob Lowe hairstyle.
Yeah, it's the idea of the whole thing is just and you wonder when Bernie goes and harasses the girlfriend poolside, at Nick's place, you wonder where they're going to go with that. And then when she leaves him in the kitchen to go to the bedroom because they're going to have dinner in bed, it's like that can't be what they're going to do. That can't be what's going to happen.
Here's another. Why didn't Buddy just kill her by the pool, like push her in the pool and drown her? Like
Well,
so
she
then
was
it would look
supposed
like an accident. Like, oh, she fell in the pool.
Yeah.
Well, because the idea was she was supposed to tell Nick.
But she doesn't. She
Right.
doesn't say shit. She just goes about on her little Christmas date like everything's hunky dory, but
Yeah.
it was not.
Oh, they do some window shopping on that date as well, I believe. I think
Yeah.
that's the scene where they're like looking through the window, being all coy, and he's like, "Oh, should we go in and buy something?" Oh,
It was like an antique place, I think, too.
yeah. They definitely do a spot of antiquing as one does in Los Angeles.
It was like Michael and Kay in The Godfather just strolling down the
That's
avenue.
right.
But it's like it's such a weird. Let's get into it. Let's now get into Midnight Warrior a little bit quickly because I know we all want to go. But getting into Midnight Warrior very quickly, it's like they've gone, well, we want to make our like Italian film brat. We want to make our Coppola, Scorsese, De Palma movie. Right, so we're going to have like the backdrop of Italian families. We're going to have like the young, Staying Alive or Saturday Night Fever or whatever, Lothario, who's going to finally settle down with a woman, whatever it is, and we're going to throw some Taxi Driver in there with the warring news vans and all that kind of hanging out in the diner and all that kind of stuff, and we're going to soup son of The Godfather and a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and we're going to sprinkle it throughout the movie. But we're going to cast Kevin Bernhardt, who I don't know, but a D and a T are not normally the way that a Italian name. I don't know. I might look him up because I don't know what origin he is, but I don't. He doesn't feel Italian to me, is all I'm saying.
No, it could be on his mother's side, maybe.
It could be quite right too, but I don't know.
No, it doesn't seem like it, right? It doesn't. Yeah.
No. I mean, his parents were Red and Beverly Bernhardt. So, like red, like just the color red.
He was married to Apollonia.
Oh, was he to Vanity? Or no, to Apollonia, right? Oh, not Vanity, Apollonia. Yeah.
Apollonia.
Wow.
Wow.
So he was a big deal. This in 1989, this was a big deal. Like we look at this now as like this obscure thing. Like we kind of put him in the same category as like the Shotgun guy. But no,
I mean, because he was on TV, so PM was like, we got ourselves a star.
Yeah.
Right. And again, he might be great now, and he's a writer and a producer and an actor, and he might have whatever. I'm just not in terms of, because you're looking at a Stallone Travolta type, right? We're talking like, I know this is the 80s, but they're basically doing their version of a Stallone or a Travolta type, right? And we get Bernhardt, and it's just with the mullet and the pleather jacket. It's just not. He's not killing it for me. He's not. He's not. Also, for such a moralistic, and a humble. What did she say at one point? Oh, and a humble hero too, or something.
Yeah, that's right. Because he's like, anybody would have done it.
Yeah, anyone would have done it. I did nothing. I was just whatever. He's also a bit of a preening, gaddish kind of, you know what I mean, like cocksure kind of guy, and it doesn't. The two things don't fit well in Bernhardt. Like if Bernhardt was just playing like the swanky cad, Lothario, you'd go fine. But I think trying to add the humble hero, I don't want to do this. I want to pursue a real family. I'm not getting that from Bernhardt. You know what I mean?
So you know what I wonder with Bernhardt, with this, it's like they wrote this thing, like you said, with the idea of having this real Italian guy in the lead. I'm wondering if the guy I had to look him up while we were chatting here. Cher dated this guy. I don't know if you remember the Bagel Boy, right? That
Right.
Cher, she did. The guy his name was Rob Camilletti, who I guess he was delivering bagels at one point, so they referred to him as Bagel, but he's a lot younger than her. But I think that's what they had in mind was they were the Bagel Boy in this role. And when they found out they could get
Nick
Bernhardt,
Cage in Moonstruck kind of thing.
right? Yeah. Then once they found out that they could get Bernhardt, they were like, okay, well, let's just put him in the role. He'll pretend to be Italian, and it's fine, Yeah,
there's just something about it, and I don't know why, but and it's not just that he's not particularly Italian. It's not even that. It's just, I tell you, it's more what I was saying. It's more that he is unable. If he's playing like the cocksure, I walk into a room and everyone swoons and I'm the best cameraman in LA. Like if he's playing that, I get that from Bernhardt. I buy it. I buy the swagger and the braggadocio. I get it all. It's the humble, I want to give it all up for love bit that I'm not getting. And for that, you need a bit more Cage, Travolta, Stallone charm. You need a little bit more of the, I'm a strong man on the outside, but I'm a little wounded inside. And I'm just not getting that from Bernhardt. You know what I mean? That's really where I feel like this is let down. That, and I would have jettisoned one of the montages, and I would have put in one more news goes awry sequence. Like, I think you have all those sequences at the beginning, right? With the woman who's going to jump, and then the guy in the pizza parlor, and then you even get a montage of them just driving around being like, there is no crime. And the drunk driver, you get that whole thing, right? So you get like 3 or 4 up front, but they're all before Buddy has made his plan to, like, that's before he becomes a hero. Once he becomes a hero, there's only like 1 or 2, and then we go from that to Buddy stabbing his girlfriend. I think if you had a situation, and if you'd had a situation, we'd gone like 2 up front, so you could do the Italian pizza parlor shootout, and then jump to the bit where he saves the girl from the burning car. And don't do any of the others. Just do those 2, or do the woman who's about to jump, and then go to the drunk with the burning car and everything. Because he needs to become a hero earlier in the movie, and then have longer of Buddy manipulating him before he quits. If you just moved a little of those bits around, don't you think, Chris? You're nodding, but
I'm thinking, what if Angelina was the woman he saved from the car crash? So the very thing that got him the fame is also what has him like pulling away from the fame. So like he got all this at one time. Like he's been wanting this, he's been a philanderer. He's been doing this. Now all of a sudden he's found the woman he loves and fame all in one fell swoop. And now Bernie's, it's like, oh shit. Now
right. But if that's the case, if she's the woman from the thing and they continue a romantic interest, then the news is going to like that anyway. He doesn't have to, meaning he can continue to be a celebrity, but be a celebrity because, did you hear about the couple? He was a news photographer. Yeah. She was trapped in a car, and now they're an item. People Magazine, OK Magazine, Hello Magazine, all these magazines, Cosmopolitan, things like that are going to be like, let's jump on this couple wedding of the year kind of thing. And, they put it on, they pay for it. And that's when the helicopter comes and all the spaghetti's everywhere.
Right. And I think maybe that's the other thing too. They just try to do too much in like such a short span. So it's like,
Right.
yeah, you could do that where he saved the girl, and yeah, for a while they're the it couple of LA, and everything's. But then it's like, well, look, kid, everything's failing now. Everybody's forgotten about you. You're way back on page 10 now on the paper. You're not up in the front, and that's what like you need to get back out there. You need to get into it. And yeah, now Bernie is orchestrating all this things.
Right.
He's pulling the strings, and yeah, it just. And maybe she's like, no, no, I don't want you to do it. And he's like, shut up, bitch. And he kills her. And then
Right.
we get to that. But yeah, I think they just try to jam too much into what was a short period of time. And obviously,
Well, it's kind of like three movies. Like the opening is the Nick and Sam driving around, cracking wise, arguing about what event or what police action they're going to go to next or whatever, and they're just driving around, cracking wise in the van, right? And he's nailing broads and whatever, right? And then you've got the romance movie, like you've got the I've met the love of my life and blah 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 blah. And then in the last, like the third act, which is very short, the third act, which is only like 10 minutes at the end of the movie, is the Gary Daniels or Jeff Wincott movies where they like murder his entire family and he like wreaks bloody revenge. That's like the last 10 minutes. So it's like three movies put into one, almost as if they were going to be like, this is the Bernhardt package. And if people go for it, we can extrapolate each one of these out to three more Bernhardt movies. But either Bernhardt or PM were not going for it after this one and done Midnight Warrior Bernhardt thing. Because he didn't do any others, right?
No, this was it. Yeah.
Kevin Bernhardt.
But he would he would go on to write Turbulence 2, Fear of Flying, and work with Dolph Lundgren with The Peacemaker, Sweepers, and Jill Rips. Oh, however, I said that he never worked with PM Entertainment again. That's not true. He wrote the screenplay for Natural Enemy, which is a Donald Sutherland film that PM Entertainment distributed.
Okay. Here's some Kevin Bernhardt.
But that was as a
information.
writer, not as an actor. Sorry.
Here's some Kevin Bernhardt information for you. Kevin Bernhardt was in the movie Medieval with Michael Caine. Michael Caine was in Interstellar with Timothy Chalamet.
Oh. It is the Caine Chalamet Bernhardt conundrum, and we have solved it here now. So Bernhardt was in a movie with Caine, huh?
Yeah, Medieval.
It must have been Caine slumming it. It must have been Caine doing
2022.
2022.
In 2022, Caine was
Yeah.
still trying to bang out B-movie claptrap.
He played Lord Borish.
Lord.
Oh, he's
Kevin
probably in,
Bernhardt
like,
played
three
Captain
scenes.
Martin. I have never heard of this in my life, but I went to the Oracle of Bacon to find the connection.
Oh, nice.
That is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. I'm just looking down to see if any of the other, because I know PM distribute it, but I'm just looking down if PM did anything else to do with Natural Enemies or whatever I said it was called. I don't think so. I think they just distributed it. But Natural Enemy with Donald Sutherland, written by our man Bernhardt, also features Tia Carrera and Leslie Ann Warren and Joey Pants.
Joey Pants,
Yep.
yeah.
Which I now have on VHS because I'm collecting all the PM Entertainment VHSs, even the ones they distributed. Anything with the PM logo, it's mine, baby.
Nice.
So I have Natural Enemy on VHS.
Yeah, it's like Bernhardt went over to, it looks like New Image because he did The Immortals and Hollow Point, which I believe those are both New Image movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it definitely has some things where you're like, okay, the plot could be a little tightened up. And I think it's definitely hamstringed a bit by Bernhardt just lacking a bit of charisma, just a splash under the charisma scale for what they're getting done. Apart from that, though, it's an interesting concept. Like for PM to suddenly go, we're going to do a movie within this world that's going to like commentate on the media and on politics and on celebrity and all this stuff. And we're going to have these like warring gangs of these warring video cameramen or whatever. That situation That's interesting to me. Like someone's pulled that out and they've done that. Making it like a little bit dark, bringing in the Italian stuff, having like the general story kind of I'm intrigued by. I love the fact that we're giving Gonzalez's music, but also obviously the beautiful song by Gesterio Coviare. If I hope I'm saying that correctly, or Gesterio Coviare. I don't know how he says his name, but him being able to do the Midnight Warrior song and really milk it. I liked that a lot. We get some really good explosions. We get PM's first car chase. We get a helicopter explosion. We get a grumpy right-wing governor. We get spaghetti.
The pizza man goes through the window.
A pizza man goes to the window. Do you know what I mean? Like Midnight Warrior's got a lot to commend it. I understand why it's a bumpy road getting there, but it's got a lot to commend it. I think personally.
Yeah, I think, we talk about these different ways that the movie could have gone. And I think like probably the better bet is, like what Chris was saying, where he saves Angelina, but they were so hell-bent, like you said, on this sort of this Coppola, De Palma, Scorsese Italian family kind of thing, that they did it this other way and had the woman who gets saved just not have a part of the movie. And I think also maybe from the Buddy standpoint, like we were talking about, like, oh, did Buddy set up the helicopter going to attack the governor? The through line should have been Buddy setting up all of these things.
That's what I mean. We needed more examples of, I'm just going to a church fete, and then suddenly there's bombs going off.
Right. It's like, Buddy whatever. Was doing it.
And again, if Buddy's the one who set up the car crash, his own plan backfires on him. Right. That's perfect irony. Right.
That's are we saying writing. Buddy set up the drunk guy?
Well, we could no. That's like a version like of the movie where it's like, okay, Buddy's kind of working throughout, and then like maybe the end of the movie isn't that Buddy kills Angelina. He's holding her hostage on that same roof that maybe the woman fell off of earlier in the film, and Nick's got to save her, right? And
wait, you're tying it to, you think Buddy's involved in the
He's one of the 7 men.
Right, I'm saying like, this is
bringing it all the way.
This is
back.
how Buddy. This is the way you mitigate all the issues with the movie, with like the unevenness with the Angelina stuff. Because again, going back to Chris's point, that if he saves Angelina and that's how we meet her, and it's at the beginning of the movie, then to Chris's point, like you've got this whole thing where Buddy set this whole thing up,
and then Buddy goes off the building.
Right at the end, at the very end of the movie.
At the very end. She is saved.
Right.
He finally saves the woman that has haunted him his whole career of 3 days.
Right. But at least it's like,
right?
Buddy, we get more of Buddy being a baddie, right? Like Buddy is
right.
And it also gives him this like this reason to like want to confront Buddy. It's not like this sudden murder that just sort of comes out of nowhere. Right. It's like Buddy's been doing all this stuff. He's been doing all these bad things.
Maybe Buddy. Oh, no, wait. I've got it. Guys, Buddy falls from the billboard. Right. Hans Gruber style, like slow motion. And over the top of it, a repeat of the bird's soliloquy. Come on now. As Buddy's wings fail to unfurl.
Right.
We get the bird's soliloquy. And maybe it just ends with him going, and he won't get wings in heaven.
Yeah. And
he will get burnt in hell or something. And then it ends. And then it cuts to the spaghetti wedding scene.
We do the spaghetti wedding scene.
Like it's just, we've fixed it, Matt. We fixed it. We get more of Bernie angeling up the place and being all like, ranty rant, one last rant. And then Bernhardt has nothing else. He throws his camera at Buddy, clocks him on the head. Buddy is thrown from the building. The woman falls down onto that ledge. He catches the woman. Buddy goes over the side of the building. Slow-mo, bird soliloquy, cut to the wedding, spaghetti on the tuxedo. Helicopter shows up with the governor in the gun. And before we even see a bullet goes off, the credits start to roll. And you're like, wait, what just happened? Did the governor show up to kill Bernhardt. That would be so good, Matt. Let's
And
make
the camera hitting the guy, that would be the prelude to later in the 90s when Anna Nicole Smith kills the guy by throwing the CD.
Yes.
And it embeds itself in the guy's head.
I was just wondering, could the camera explode when it hits the ground?
Yes, it has battery power in it. And maybe the battery acid. You just cut to a scene like where they're picking up brains in the background, and you have Sam go over to the police guy from earlier from the Italian pizza parlor
who couldn't be bothered.
And he's just like, why did the camera explode? And the guy's just like, battery acid. And he's like, oh, well. And then it just moves on. Like the camera just, you know what I mean? Like it just captures it as part of the mise en scène of the whole thing. Matt, I think we've made it better. I'm now sad it doesn't end that way. But I have to say, when I first watched it, I quite enjoyed the fact that it made this left turn and suddenly we're blowing Buddy up in the car. I just didn't necessarily need that excruciatingly long dialogue scene beforehand. I just need Buddy showing up in his driveway and going, oh, I guess I get to have the blue car after all, turning the ignition, blow up next, you know, or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the monologue thing, like the bird thing is one thing, but the monologue thing with Buddy at the end, he doesn't really have the chops for that one, I don't think.
No, although I have to say, Bernie Angel is hands down, next to, of course, Addison Randall, my dear Addison Randall, who was the Timothy Chalamet of PM Entertainment, just an older, more grumpy Chalamet, but still a wonder nonetheless. Addison Randall, apart from him, my favorite actor in the movie is Bernie Angel, followed closely by Marty Brinton as Sam.
I forgot to mention that we do get, before the credits, there's sort of this like thing of like he becomes the guy, he becomes the next Buddy, essentially.
Right. Yeah, there's a little coda where he's gone fully to the dark side.
Yeah. And he's get these two guys that come in. One of them is like, he's like nervous and he's like, I don't want to screw it up. And he's like, okay, you're good. And the other guy's like, I don't care. I'm not, nothing bothers me. And he's like, that's the guy that scares me, you know, and I'm not going to give this guy a job.
Also, if we made this movie, the policewoman that interviews him twice would definitely have sex with him.
Yeah.
And he would have sex with the woman that he saved from the burning car.
Yeah.
Like you would squeeze 2 more sex scenes into this movie just with those 2 women alone.
Yeah.
What's mad though, right, is so that the chain of events would be this. Female cop who definitely wants to bed Bernhardt is talking to Bernhardt in the movie, in the actual movie. I'm not talking hypothetically. In the actual movie, he's talking to Bernhardt after Mantouch has been stabbed. And he's like, it wasn't me, it was someone else. But she's like, but it was you. Your fingerprints were everywhere and blah, 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 blah.
This is
blah,
your
blah.
house.
Yeah, but and Buddy Arnstein's nowhere to be found, and neither's the knife or anything. So like, we're pegging this on you, and he's like, it's Buddy. I'm going to prove it's Buddy. And then the next time the police hear about Buddy Arnstein, he's blown up in Bernhardt's car, in Branca's car. So it's like, wait, if your fingerprints were found at the first murder scene, and at the second murder scene, it was blown up in your car. I'm sorry, it's beginning to look a lot like it's you who's doing it, and you wouldn't be sat in a diner giving jobs away to people like some kind of Lord of Flatbush. You would be in prison for multiple homicides. Really, I mean, right? Because if like you could talk your way out of one murder, oh, it wasn't me, but you can't talk your way out of a second one where a guy who she knows you think killed your girlfriend, like she knows that, he admits that, so he's blown up next to the car. It's him. Like it's him. How is he not
with the cufflink?
Prison? Yeah.
The cufflink. I mean, I don't know how it's survived. You know, I don't know how the cheap cufflink survives the explosion. But remember, he rips it open because it's in the envelope.
Right.
Which I also love the fact that that's how he opens an envelope, is he rips it halfway through. It's like that's how when I get credit card offers, I rip them up so that, you know.
Right. But Buddy Arnstein has got no time to be opening letters properly. Right. He's a busy man.
Right.
He's got money to make and sectors of the city to cornered off with imaginary felt tip pen. You're not allowed to go into this bit of the city. Oh, I'm not. Weird old man.
No, also,
in a V-neck sweater and a tweed jacket. I think I'll do whatever I want. Thank you very much. You don't own me.
hooking up like extension cords in diners to be able to hook up his TVs. Like when they're at the table, there's like this gray extension cord that's going down the table.
Doing
Like,
that, but he's taking up an entire booth.
right, with TVs behind him and like paper all over the stuff. It's like, yeah, I don't know how. I mean, is that how diners worked? I thought they wanted to turn the tables over. I thought, you know,
Yeah.
Oh, it's so wonderful. See, this is the thing is I wouldn't want to lose any of this. Like I love all of this. Like all of this endears me to the movie. I understand the problems with the movie, and I'm certainly not going to give it like 5 out of 5. It's no Angels of the City. I'm just saying that. But and it's no Shotgun, but it is it's up there, I think, with some of the John Chance sequels, and I'm very happy with it. That's what I would say. Does anyone else have any other commentary on Midnight Warrior or anything else that they want to say about PM Entertainment or about anything that they personally do before we go to the final scoring of this movie? Anyone want to say anything else?
I think any PM is a good PM. I think, you know, this is early PM and it's going to be a little different for people. But I think, you know, if you're along your journey, your PM journey, you know, you've seen some of the other big ones. Like I would say, like if you're thinking about a PM Christmas movie, Riot is probably the better deal. But
Yes.
hey, you know, you've already done Riot. Maybe you want to dip into some new Christmas PM. You know, give this one a try.
Yeah. What about the Christmas thing? That came out. I didn't know it was a Christmas movie. When I was saying in the lead up to our Christmas episode, I think Riot's the only PM Christmas movie. No one said. Normally, Paul Volk, if I get something wrong, Paul Volk's like, I think Midnight Warrior said it Christmas or something. Like normally, Paul will set me straight, which I love. I mean, he's given me so much information. Yeah, nothing when I was saying that Riot is the only Christmas movie. I'm sorry, Midnight Warrior is also a Christmas movie.
Well, honestly, I think Zero Tolerance is a little bit Christmas too. Isn't it around Christmas time as well?
Well, I think the opening murder, I think, happens at Christmas, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Riot's the Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Right. But they occasionally Shane Black it, you know.
Right.
Set something at Christmas. So I gave it. Well, let's do your ratings first, guys, because I've been blathering a lot. So Chris, what is your rating both in PM Entertainment films and well, there's not really a star. I mean Kevin Bernhardt, but I don't know if you've watched any other movies by him. But
I think he's in Hellraiser 3. That's the only other thing I think I remember seeing him in.
okay.
PM. I mean, for me, this is maybe top 30. It would come in somewhere. I mean, there's a lot of great PM movies that.
Oh yeah, no, I don't mean you. You certainly don't have to like put it out of 100 PM films or whatever. But no, just like out of I don't know 5 stars or 10 stars.
Yeah, I would say it's like a 2-star, maybe
Okay.
2.5 if I'm being friendly that day. I mean, because it does have a lot of the building blocks that would be needed down the road for PM, and yeah, it does have some just stuff you're never going to forget. Like, Mom, is that you in the shower?
Right.
I'll never forget that.
No.
And just the spaghetti eating. There's just so much that just those little things that you can always be like, oh yes. And yeah, I think Bernie Angel he's the true star of the film.
He is. Matt, how about you, sir?
So I was looking at my PM top 30, and I think my my number 27 is Night of the Wilding, and I think I could maybe put this above that one. I have Stray at 28, A Time to Die at 29, and Magic Kid at 30. So I could see this being above those. So that might be, again, like a top 30 PM. That's probably where I'd put this. I think again, like 2.5, 3 stars, like kind of two, kind of verging in that territory. I think what it is one of those PM movies that's like, it's just fun enough as a PM movie that, like, if you showed this to just anybody, they'd probably be like, why do you like this? And I think, that's kind of the thing. I think it's like, it's not like an all-time classic PM, but it has these fun low budget movie qualities to it that, like, if you're trying to kill 86 minutes, and I mean, I guess like you said, if you're watching on a Fossum, you're not killing 86 minutes. It's more like 2 hours with all the commercials, but the YouTube version actually, I think, is pretty good too. So so I, that's probably, where it's not like a all-time classic PM, but it's got the hallmarks of what you want from PM that I think is fun.
Oh, I'm very glad it exists. I'm very glad that it's there. I'm very glad that they made it. And I love these early ones for their sort of variation. Like they're not all, when you look at the first few PM films, it's not like they're doing John Chance and then they're doing like 5 other like cop things. There's Shotgun, but that's like a different thing entirely. And then Midnight Warrior is like a different thing again. And like they're doing some stuff that, and even Night of the Wilding and various other things, they're doing stuff that is essentially a lot of like they're painting with lots of different brushes to begin with. And I love that about them. And they're also, as I said, there's this like core team of people like Kanganis and like Addison Randall, and obviously Joseph Merhi and Rick Pepin shooting the thing, and John Gonzalez doing the music. But it's like there's, the early few are all made by like the same team before they get more staff on board, before they, get new staff writers and da-da-da-da-da. And it's interesting watching this particular team make these first 10 movies or whatever and watch them, not only how they grow, but where they've taken stories and they've made them far more dramatic and far more interesting and far more weird than necessarily they ever needed to be. This could have been like a very, A to B to C kind of movie, just set in this world. This could have been just a generic action romance set in the hotshot world of, news cameraman. But like, instead, they're sort of playing with drama, but it's got to have a 4 explosion minimum. You know what I mean? It's sort of there's a bit of everything in the movie, and it's. I'll use a food analogy because we've been talking about PM's love of insane food moments, and a food analogy is, I'm sure, when you're starting out trying to perfect, and we'll stick with the Italian analogy as well, like a really good pasta sauce, a gravy. When you're trying to, sometimes you put too much onion in. Oh, it's too oniony. Sometimes the tomatoes are too sweet. Oh, it's too sweet. Sometimes you put too much salt in it, too much oregano, too much whatever. But then eventually you get the sauce the marinara that people die for. Well, early on, PM is going, well, let's see if we put a bit more onion in, or maybe we put maybe get fancy and put shallots in there. You know what I mean? Like they get a little. Anyone here fancy an endive in this sauce? Like we'll figure it out. Like we'll get a bit fancy and weird with it. Mushrooms with some cereal, and they're just sprinkling this shit around, and then finally they perfect the sauce. But like early on, I'm quite enjoying tasting PM sauce. I didn't mean that to go to that point. Sorry. Early on, I'm quite happy tasting their various sauces. So I gave it 2.5, which was kind of on a par of what you were saying. And I said that I'm rating this where I'm rating it, 2.5 stars, because while I really enjoyed it, and there's a lot to commend it, then we talked about it on the show, when you put it up against other PM films, it doesn't stand up as well. And it's not necessarily because it's one of the earlier ones, because as I said, I've recommended Shotgun and Angels of the City and stuff. But it's mainly because for a low budget B movie, it's just not as much fun as the others. We've had fun with it. That doesn't necessarily mean it's fun, as fun as we've had with it to watch. Right. And I think Bernhardt bears some of the blame for that, I think. It's often trying to do and say serious things that it does and doesn't quite pull off, and within a weird and typically bonkers kind of PM scenario. So I loved it, that it was like swinging for the fences. But sometimes a miss is a miss, and sometimes a miss is a bird soliloquy before your girlfriend is hideously murdered. And that in itself has its own kind of beauty. And that's where I'm going to... But on my list of PM films, it is number 53, but 2 things. A, I rank a lot of PM very highly. B, I've watched about 68 PM. And C, that also includes City Light movies. That list has PM and City Lights in it. So that's pushing it further down the list. But I have it at 53 on a list out of 68. And in the 2.5s, so we obviously each half has its own section. I have No Escape, No Return at the top of the 2.5s, then A Time to Die, then Skyscraper, then Midnight Warrior. So I nudged this just under Skyscraper, but surprisingly, and I'm sorry, Mr. Jeff Wincott, above Deadly Bet, because I don't find Deadly Bet as compelling, and above other classics like The Big Fall, CIA 2 Target Alexa, Epicenter, Catherine's Grove. Those are all the 2.5s, and I put Midnight Warrior at number 4. Controversial placing though, because I feel like you're a Deadly Bet fan, Chris.
I mean, it's the weakest of the Wincotts, but I would put Deadly Bet above. Yeah, a lot. It'd be above this movie. It'd be above Midnight Warrior for me.
Would it be above Skyscraper though?
That's a good question. Skyscraper does have some things going for it.
I do like the top 10.
I do like the theory, just like we wanted Kenneth Tiger to be in every movie on the last episode. I do like the theory that the helicopter company is the same helicopter company throughout PM. I do like that idea, and that they just lose helicopters left and right.
I actually have Skyscraper as my 5th favorite PM movie.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
I just can't put it that highly because while again we've had a lot of fun with Midnight Warrior, that's because I watched Midnight Warrior and enjoyed it enough to be able to be like, oh, let's spin it off here, let's come up with tangents and fun stuff and whatever, because there's enough weird stuff in Midnight Warrior that I love, because that's what I love, but I also think, oh, great to extrapolate on. Skyscraper, to me, there's not enough. I mean, apart from her being in it and her being a helicopter pilot and her pretending to be an action hero, that's majorly weird. But the rest of the movie kind of plays out for me too typically. Like, it has that great action scene at the beginning, but then the rest of the movie is just a redo of other things we've seen. And there's not enough PM flourish within the weirdness. There's a few major weird bits, like that she has while being shot at, she has a flashback about bonking her husband. That's pretty weird. But like, apart from that,
Deadly
Skyscraper does. I think I came to Skyscraper too late because I didn't watch it at the height of the Anna Nicole Smith, blah blah blah. I watched it later in life, and I think I don't like to watch stuff ironically if I can help it. So it just didn't hit me as much as look at my hand. It didn't hit me as much as it did.
Deadly Bet I would put over Skyscraper based on the Jeff Wincott gets his shit together montage.
Yes.
It is a good shit together montage. It is a good shit together montage.
Cleans it up. He's doing it. He's cleaning the house. He's cleaning himself.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that scene. That scene right there makes that movie for me.
Well, PM give good montage. Yeah. They really do. In these early days where they're like, we've got lads, we've got to push this to 85 minutes.
Plus, you got Stephen Vincent Lee like looking like Wayne Newton in it. It's everything. Yeah, it's very Vegas. For sure.
I think if I revisit Deadly Bet, because I haven't watched Deadly Bet since my recent watching of all PM films for this podcast. I watched Deadly Bet a long time ago when I was first watching like Wincott stuff. So I think maybe reassessing it now if I go back and watch it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's one I don't think I was really into when I first saw it, but then I watched it a long time later. I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't seen this one, because that's the other thing that I kind of rate. Like, do I want to watch this movie over and over again?
Right.
Riot, if you told me to go watch it right now, I'd go watch it right now, and I'd be so happy about it.
Right.
Where I probably won't need to watch Midnight Warrior for another few years. Deadly Bet, it might be time to come around again. But
I like the way you think, and it might scoot up the leaderboard after I've given it another watch, I think.
Yeah, that's really where it's like, okay, if you put these, like, what movie do I want to watch right now? Okay, this one would be the first one, and if I had time, this one, maybe. And no time for this? Oh well, shoot. Sorry.
But in a shock twist,
Uh-oh.
Angels of the City has nudged its way into my top 5.
Oh my word! I'm
My
just,
top 5 is now Steel Frontier, Shotgun, Last Man Standing, Angels of the City, The Art of Dying. That is now my top 5. And then, which is mad when you think that like they made Rage and Ring of Fire 3 and Pure Danger and Executive Target. All of those are lower to me than those 5 movies, which just must mean that I've got my my head on backwards or something. I don't know.
The other thing too, I just watched To Be the Best recently, or just this past weekend, and yeah, PM didn't really know what they were doing with Stephen Vincent Lee, because they don't necessarily use him. I mean, he's great as like
He should have been a star for them, and he wasn't.
Yeah,
I agree.
When you mentioned that, Chris, about him being in Deadly Bet, I'd forgotten about that, and also I think he was in one of the Ring of Fire movies as well.
the first one, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, Stephen Vincent Lee could have been something for.
He had Sword of Honor. That was the only time they made him
Which
like
they
the star
distributed,
star.
but
Okay,
he
so
did not. He did not. They did not make it.
Okay.
So they distributed it, and I believe a ton of PM people work on it.
Yeah.
So talking about Deadly Bet, Sword of Honor is written by Robert Tiff or Robert Tiffy, who also
Right.
wrote Deadly Bet.
I believe the Tiffies are like from my neck of the woods. I believe they're from Northeast Ohio.
Okay. Oh, Jim Halfpenny, turning up like a bad halfpenny yet again. Bringing it back to Jim Halfpenny. He does the soundtrack to Sword of Honor. So yeah, there are a few PM alum connected to Sword of Honor. And that often happens. Like you find actors or cinematographers or musicians or whatever often do the movies they're distributing as well as show up. Well, I mean, that's how that's how Corey Eubanks came to PM, because he was done Forced to Kill, and they had almost finished it, and PM kind of came in at the end and distributed it, but they didn't make it. That wasn't a PM one. But then obviously he came into PM through the distribution deal with Forced to Kill, and they gave him Bigfoot, and that's how he got Bigfoot. And Two Bits and Pepper, which is a joy. If you haven't seen Two Bits and Pepper, to watch Joe Piscopo, Eddie Murphy it up and play 2 parts in one movie. Oh, come on now. It's beautiful. Beautiful work. We'll get to that here on the PM Entertainment Podcast, but I also think we should get to the end of this episode.
I will say quickly, Chris, you're right. Robert Tiffy, he actually went to the Cooper Art School in Cleveland. That's where he learned to be a filmmaker.
I think when I was researching Sword of Honor many moons ago, I was like, oh, Cleveland.
But this has been an excellent episode. I want to thank you both again. The riffing and the tangents have been top level tangents. So give yourself both a nice big shiny star, and hope that a waitress at a diner grotesquely kisses your wound. I bequeath you this honor. Guys, plug anything you want to plug again at the end of the show, and then we will say goodnight. But a huge thank you from me. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me again. What a pleasure to talk about Midnight Warrior. You can catch me, bulletproofaction.com. You'll find all the stuff you need there. The podcast, the socials, everything. I did get on the letterbox after peer pressure, so I'm doing that so you can give me Chris the Brain, or you can follow the Bulletproof Action One Bulletproof Pod over there as well.
Wonderful. And Matt?
Yes, DTVC or dtvconnoisseur.blogspot.com. That's where you can find links to everything. We've got the site where we've been doing reviews, the podcast, which both John and Chris have been on, both recently as well, very recently. We've had both on the podcast, so you can check that out on most major podcatchers. And then, as we talked about at the beginning of the episode, my newest book, Mark in Sales, available on Amazon, Kindle Unlimited. So you can pick that up, or any of my books. I've got 5 or 6 other books that you can also pick up as well.
Kindle Unlimited is a program that Amazon just started, which was designed by a crazy person, which is where you keep getting sent Kindles, and you can't stop Amazon from sending you Kindles. It's just, And you're like, I have one. How many Kindles do I need? And Amazon it's blowing through Bezos's money, and he's angry about it, and he's going to fire whoever came up with Kindle Unlimited.
Well, what's funny is that it's essentially it's a subscription thing, but for me, I get compensated by the page people read. So
Really?
I'll just see like on my dashboard of book purchases 8 cents, where somebody read like 10 pages of the book and then haven't
You know what that means,
stopped.
Matt? You know what that means?
Yeah.
Your next book, 1 word per page.
1 word.
Yeah.
Yes.
And maybe you'll earn yourself a halfpenny.
I think they have ways of flagging those things. It's like yeah, they would be like, nope, you're trying to screw with Kindle. You can't mess with Bezos's money. Like if you try to mess with Bezos's money,
He'll send a helicopter after you.
He'll send the
Bezos
helicopter.
is like, shut it down. Pereira has gone for a 1 word per page Kindle swindle, and I'm not dealing with it.
They send the helicopter from DC. We're not far from DC here in Philly, so it's a quick trip, and then and I there's kids in the neighborhood, so if that guy just starts spraying starts spraying down here trying to get me, so. Yeah, I gotta
no, you can't swindle the Kindle people. They get very upset about that. You have to be above board, otherwise Bezos will swoop in. Bezos won't have anyone unfairly trying to make money,
right?
Other than him, of course,
Yes.
and all of his friends.
Right.
But he won't have any of us. We're not allowed to. There are rules for us, just
Yes.
not for them. Anyway, Jim Halfpenny, thank you very much. This whole episode has been sponsored by the Timothy Chalamet for remaking all of PM Entertainment organization, which I set up at the weekend, which aims to have every PM Entertainment film remade, featuring the entire original cast, except all the main actors will be replaced by Timothy Chalamet. That'll be coming from John's Pointless Studios sometime in the next
E24.
50 years. Yeah, A24 will be making 3-hour versions of Midnight Warrior. Well, they already did Nightcrawler. I mean, Nightcrawler's got to be at least 2.5 hours. And no one gets blown up in a car at the end of it. Do they or not? I can't remember. Maybe. All right. Well, thank you ever so much, gents. I'm going to let you go. I never know how to end this, so I'm just going to stop recording.
You are now leaving the PM Entertainment Podcast.